Have you ever wondered which fruit deals the most damage in Blox fruits? Is it the dragon fruit, or maybe it's a fruit that you never even thought it'd be? Well, today we finna find out, because I'm gonna be testing the damage of all 41 fruits in the game from lowest to highest. And it starts with the rocket fruit.
And to make this as accurate as possible, I'm gonna test this on a 2.5 million bounty player with hockey. And for each fruit, I'm only gonna put enough stat points for it to equal 2600. So for example, I have 262 mastery on rocket, which gives me a stat boost of 179. So if we pull out our calculator, type in 2600 minus 179, that means I have to put in 2,421 points. So let's go ahead and do a stat reset and put those exact amount of stats to equal 2600. There we go. We're gonna do that for every fruit to get maximum accuracy. But for rocket, we have 3 different attacking abilities, starting with Missile Fist. For this one, we do 2090 damage. Wow, that's actually like way worse than I thought it'd be. All right, let's keep this pushing though. Next up, we got Air Strike. Let me use that. Oh, what the heck? Doesn't even work in a building. All right, let me get my all out here then. Air Strike once again. 2,571. But there's multiple hits of airstrike, so maybe we should test that one twice. One more time, airstrike. Okay, that actually did less, so maybe that's the top damage. Last but not least, we have rocket crash. This should deal the most damage because it's the ult, and we get 2,926. Yeah, that was not very good. Here's the tier list that I'm going to be ranking all the fruits. In S tier, we have 9,000 plus damage, followed by A tier, which is 7,000 to 8,999, all the way down to F tier, 0 to 3,500, which makes rocket the worst damage in the game going in F tier. I mean, it's pretty expected, to be honest. But next up, we're moving on to the spin fruit. But before we get to that, I just want to let y'all know I do have a second channel called WinterKloudz 2. So if y'all want to support me, make sure to subscribe to that. Link in the description. All right, now I'm not expecting a lot from spin. It's probably going to be comparable to rocket. Let's test this out. Razor Wind. This is a barrage ability, so it can be held. And we get 2,166. I think that was even less than rocket. Next up, we got Tornado Assault. Let me see. 2,104. I actually aimed that wrong. So this is a multi-hit box. So you have to aim it. We have to try to do that again to make sure we get maximum damage. Let me activate Shift Lock. Tornado Assault. 2,572. Okay, I felt like I hit it all that time. So that's probably max damage. Helicopter Flight doesn't deal any damage. This is a useless flight that's only cosmetic. So our ultimate, we have Air Slasher, and this deals 3,045, which technically makes it better than rocket, but in terms of damage, this is still F tier. Rocket and spin may have been F tier though, but what about Blade? This fruit just got reworked last update, and there's actually something interesting about it. It has an M1, which can go on forever. So to make this list as accurate as possible, we're not going to count that. Instead, we're going to count the damage of 3 M1s and call it there. Let me go ahead and do this. It does 542 per M1, making it 1627 for a full M1 combo. Very mid in terms of damage. Let's hope the other moves can make up for it. Razor Cyclone, 2,237. Ooh, that's really low. All right, next up we got Blade Dance. This is a barrage. I'm gonna try to aim this all in there. Hopefully we got that. 2,169. How did that deal less damage than Z? I'm baffled. And now we just have one more ability, Saw Shredder. Let me see. Let me hold this one. Maybe it deals more damage. And we get for this one 3,525. Well, it's still very mid, but it was just barely enough to make it into D tier, escaping the Dookie tier. What fruit comes after Blade? We got the spring fruit next. Oh, this is gonna be a little tough to calculate. You guys will see why in a second. But first, let's worry about the ones we can calculate. We got Knock, 2,037 damage. Okay, we got Spring Snipe. Barely more, minimally more. Okay, Spring Cannon. I'm expecting a decent bit out of this one. Okay, that's almost 3,000. And now we have the final ability, Spring Emperor. Like I said, this is gonna be tough to calculate because it really just goes all over the place. That did almost 3,000 damage, but 90% of the move missed. Hold on, you know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna go with my ult over here and teleport myself to Remote Island. Now we're in an enclosed area where all of Spring Emperor should hit. So let's test this out. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, 4,616. That's a lot better. Somehow, bro, Spring jumped over F, D, and went straight to C. We only got 3 common fruits left, and up next, we got the bomb fruit. First off, we got Targeted Bomb. I think this one could be held, so let's go ahead and hold it at its maximum. Let's see how much damage that deals. Ooh, almost 4,000 off that alone. So just off that, this already escaped F tier. Bomb Grab, let's see how much that does. 2,324. Why are we going down that much? I would expect Bomb Grab to be more than Targeted Bomb, but it is what it is. Next up, Explosive Jump, even less. All right, they're trolling me at this point. Now this next move, which is Land Mines, is actually going to be a bit interesting to test just because the way the move works, when you use it, it spreads out. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to have my ult walk through all these just so we can calculate the damage. All right, that's like 540. Heck, none of the other mines are working, huh? He's literally walking into him. Oh, brother. All right, hold on. Let me try this again. Let me try putting a small amount of them right here. Let me have the ult go all in all that. Okay, that dealt 1,914 damage. Okay, that one's mid. I probably could have did that better, but landmines doesn't even matter because the main attraction with bomb is its self-destructibility. Now, what this move does, you guys can see here, I'm taking my own health to charge a blast, and I think this should deal a lot of damage. Hold on, let me hold this as long as I can. We still got that spark there, so I believe the longer I hold, the more damage it'll deal. So let's go ahead and let it go in 3, 2, 1. 7,965? Damn! That's low-key insane. Hey, somehow common fruit has crept its way up into A tier. Who would have thought? Actually, I think a lot of people knew that. Everybody knows about self-destruct. Next up, we got the smoke fruit, which I'm actually a bit curious about to see how much damage this deals. So first off, we got smoke slam, which just does a measly 2,292. But this next ability is where it gets interesting. Smoke blast. This is an AoE attack which has lingering hitbox. So let's go ahead and try to aim it right. You guys can see that deals almost 5,000 damage. But this alone already puts it in C tier. Let me go ahead and use Smoke Liberation now, which is the ultimate. And we get somehow less damage than Smoke Blast. That's a bit weird. And last but not least, we have Smoke Bomber, which is a move that can damage infinitely, but that would make the whole list unfair. So we're just gonna do one attack, which does 674. Yep, I mean, Smoke is about what you expect. You know, it's C tier, definitely C tier. And I'm gonna put this behind Spring because I think Spring did a little more. Well, with Smoke out the way, we're moving on to the last common, Spike. Now for this one, we're just gonna go to the last two abilities, Spiky Ball, which should deal the most damage. And out of Spiky Ball, we get 3,367. Ooh, I was expecting a little more out of that. All right, let's use Spike Barrage now. This has the potential to deal a lot. 2,787? Huh? I thought it would deal more. Let me give that another try. I feel like with Spike Barrage, you kind of got to aim it a little good. All right, 3, 2, 1, Spike Barrage. Did less that time. Well, Spike was even more disappointing than I thought. That's going straight in F tier, but I think it is above Rocket. All common fruits done. Now we have uncommon, rare, legendary, and mythics left. And this is Faded, boys. We're currently at Lava Island right now, and our next fruit is the Flame Fruit. For this one, we're gonna go straight into the ultimate move, Hell's Core, because this is obviously the one that deals the most damage. Let's go ahead and charge that thing up. Let's charge it up fully too. All right, I'm about to let it go. 3, 2, 1, Hell's Core. Let's see how much damage that deals. Damn, that's still going. That's still going. Hold on, 6,358. Hold on, boys. I'm gonna test this out in a small area like remote again, just so this guy can take the maximum amount of burn damage. I think we can get even higher. Let's find out. Okay, 6,000. Okay, it topped out at 6,358, which is still really good because that puts Flame up in B tier. Not bad. I'm gonna be honest, this next fruit I really am not hyped to test out. We got Falcon. Fully expecting the damage to be abysmal with this one. All right, let's activate Plumage. Let's just use the ultimate first. Soaring Talon. 2,743. That's the max damage for Spike. Okay, hold on. There's no way. Hold on. Let me test our Bone Crusher. It did even less. All right, hold on. Windburst is our last hope. 2,200. Yeah, Falcon's going straight in F tier, but I think it is still above Rocket. This next one I'm actually pretty curious about is the Ice Fruit. This one's not really known for its damage. It's mainly stun, but I guess we could be surprised, right? All right, first off, we have an M1 combo with this. Let me see. 4 M1, so let's see how much damage that deals. 2, 3, 4. 6,110 for the M1? Yo, that's crazy. That's already insane. All right, let's go ahead and check out Cold Storm now. Okay. 4,949. Check Glacial Surge out now. Frozen Dragon next. Only 2,300. All right. Okay, what about Absolute Zero? 2,474. Okay, we just went abysmally downhill. But off the M1 and the Z move alone, Ice makes it into B tier. But what about the Sand Fruit? All right, let's get straight to it. Desert Blade, 2,899. Yeah, this is already going downhill. Okay, what about Sand Coffin? So this did 698 initially, so we got to keep that in mind. And then 2,485. 2,485 plus 698 comes out to 3,183. Ooh, that's really low. That's really low. All right, what about Sandstorm? Maybe this will bring it back. All right. What the heck, dog? Yo, Sand, you're going on Sand. You're going on Sand. All right, you got to bring it in with this, Sand. You got to bring it in with this. Deep Sand. Let me hold this to its maximum. I think it may deal more damage the more you hold it. We should be good now. 4,004. Okay, they brought it back with that. At the very least, Sand ate in F tier, bro. It's going in D tier. And above Chop, too. I was about to crash out of Sand, made it in F. Ooh, Dark Fruit next. Okay, I've never actually used this for fruit damage, so I'm actually curious what this will do. First off, we got Dimensional Slash. I don't expect this to do much damage. Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right, what about Abyssal Darkness? This is a barrage move that lasts a long time, so maybe the damage is good on this? Huh? Wait, hold on. That dealt less damage than Z. I don't understand how that works. All right, let's just wrap this up quick. Endless Hole. The damage slightly more, 2,500. And last but not least, we have World of Darkness. This is gonna have to bring it back. All right, let's hold this as long as it can go. Maybe the more we hold it, the longer damage it deals. All right, World of Darkness deals 3,964. Well, for as much as a charge up that is, that was pretty mid, but it's at least made it a D tier above Chop. Not that high of a bar to pass though. Hey, Dark may have disappointed, but I know my main man Diamond gonna get me right. Yeah, we ain't gonna disappoint with this one, especially with the rework it just got. I hope the damage is good. All right, first off, we have an M1 with this now, so let's test that out. See how much damage that deals. 2,291. Okay, yeah, it's not that much, but I mean, we got like 4 other abilities to test out. So Encrust actually is a damage dealing move on top of the transformation, and that deals 3,055. Next up, Shard Storm. Let's hold this as far as it can go. 4,151. Okay, we're cooking. Next up, Shimmering Disruption. Okay, we're going downhill. And last but not least, Prismatic Reflection. I'm expecting this one to deal at least 5,000. Oh, just barely there. 4,750, almost there. Hey, you know what? I'll take it, man. Diamond skipped D tier and is going straight to C. And I think it's actually higher than Smoke and Spring by a little bit. Next up, though, we got the Light Fruit. Now, Light actually has an M1 combo similar to Ice, so we're going to use the full M1 combo on that and see how much damage that deals. All right. Woo! 6,744. Oh, that's kind of crazy. And we still have a bunch of other abilities left to test. Got Divine Arrow. Let me make sure I hold this fully. 4,024, not bad. Up next, we got Hand of Emperor. This is a barrage that you can hold. We're gonna hold that to the maximum, and we get 4,316. Lightspeed Destroyer, 3,035. Okay, that went downhill by quite a bit. Last but not least, Wrath of God. How much does that deal? 4,014. Hey, that M1 combo carried, but this is still making it in B tier. And I think this is actually above Ice and Flame, too. Like cooking. We got the Rubber Fruit next. Okay, this is gonna be a bit interesting. I'm not gonna lie. The Boing Boing Fruit. Hopefully this one got some main character energy. Just for the sake of accuracy, we're gonna test this out with Transformation, so we deal the most amount of damage. This one also has an M1, but that damage is mid. You know what? Let's just skip all the other abilities. Let's go straight into the rush. Let's test out the max damage. 2,000. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 8,445? I'm mind blown, bro. Second one of the video going straight in A tier. That did even more than Bomb. Yeah, the main character energy carried with this one. Rubber may have cooked, but Barrier is definitely not about to cook. Let's make this quick. First off, Barrier Wall, 2,189. Oh, brother. I believe the move with the highest damage potential is going to be Barrier Prison, so let's test that out. But first, let's test out Surprise Attack. Yeah, not good. Go to what Barrier Towers. 3,693. The issue with Barrier Towers is I think only one of these pillars could really hit, because after it slams down, it stuns them in place. If you could hit all the pillars, I think the damage could be really high, but I just don't think that's possible. Last but not least, Barrier Prison. Let's see the maximum damage potential, 821. Okay, yeah. Barrier Towers was the highest with like 3,700, making this fruit just barely eligible for D tier. Ooh, the Ghost Fruit next. This is going to be an interesting one, and I'm actually curious to see how this will go. Now, just to make this as accurate as possible with Ghost, we're going to be testing all the attacks with Ghostbusters activated. In case y'all don't know what this does, basically it just summons 3 of me. So 3 of me equals more damage, right? Or at least I'm hoping. But only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and go over here. This deal Cries of the Underworld, and this deals 3,789. Okay, that's not as high as I was expecting, but we have a few other moves to test. We'll go ahead and do Spectral Release. 4,388. Not bad. And then one more ability. Shivering Possession. Yeah, that's mid. Yep, Ghost definitely falls in the D tier category, but it is at least above Dark, I think. Now we have last rare fruit of the game, the Magma Fruit. This one better cook. I mean, it's literally lava. There's no way this doesn't cook. Magma Showers. Let's see the total maximum damage of this. Okay, 8,000, 10, 13,700? That literally almost basically one-shotted with that move alone. That is straight insanity. 13,700 damage. We don't even need to see the other moves, bro. That's just going straight in S tier. That said, though, let's move on to the Quake Fruit, which is the first legendary of the video. And this one, I don't have much hope for. I've used Quake a little bit, and from what I remember, it does not have good damage. But let's go ahead and speedrun these abilities. Let's see. Fatal Demolisher. 3,233, and then it had like 147 on the initial pull-in. So I think like 3,400 max. All right, Air Crusher. That's even worse. How are we getting worse with the second ability? Spatial Shockwave. How are Air Crusher and Spatial Shockwave less damage than Fatal Demolisher? Well, so far Quake's been a disappointment, but maybe the last move, Sea Quake, will be a little better. Okay, initial impact at 3,057, and the waves themselves are supposed to deal damage as well, so that we got to calculate that. 2,498, 5,555, and that's not bad. At the very least, Quake's not going to get in B or D tier. It's going to go at the top of C. Now we get to the Buddha Fruit, and you know what? Similar to Spring and some of the other fruits, I'm actually going to go to Remote Island for this. You guys will see why in a sec. All right, so let's go ahead and activate Shift, because we need to use any of the abilities. I'm going to ignore Heavenly Impact, Buddha Leap, and Retribution Dash. The highest damage dealing move of Buddha is Twilight of the Gods, so So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can hit all the damage. 4,540. Okay, that's definitely not all the damage. And you know, I actually have a better place in mind to teleport. Right inside here at the, what is it, superhuman quest guy? All right, enough yapping. Let's go ahead and try it out. Retribution dash. Oh, 8,943? That's crazy. Did I say Retribution Dash before I used it? I meant Twilight of the Gods. Hey, but who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen, who would have thought that Buddha would be at the top of A tier? Insanity. All right, Love Fruit next. Now, the Love Fruit, we're not going to use the Best of Friendo because this is an attack that would basically last forever, which will give us infinite damage. So for the rules of this video, we're not using that. Let me see how much this move does, though. Cupid Zone. See the maximum potential for that. 3,901. Okay, that's a lot lower than I was expecting. Heart Shot. 3,065, and last but not least, Irresistible Attraction, 3,714. Yeah, Love is going straight in D tier. Next up, we got the Spider Fruit, and the maximum damage move this has is Heavenly Punishment. So if we go ahead and use that at close range and hold it all the way, we will see it deals a total of 7,685, making Spider in A tier. Now with the Sound Fruit, we actually get a tempo meter, which if full, I believe you do a little bit more damage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate this to max. And then we're going to use the highest damage dealing move, which is Glorious Harmony, to see the maximum damage potential. 5,104, which puts Sound at the top of C tier. Which means next up, we're moving on to the Phoenix Fruit. To get maximum damage with this, you need to activate Blazing Plumage, which I believe is a move in and of itself. Yep, it deals a little bit of damage, 2,889. And other than that, the highest damage dealing move is Flame Exodus, which deals 3,186. Yeah, that's terrible. That makes Phoenix in F tier, and it's just barely better than Falcon in terms of damage. But up next, we have the Portal Fruit to test out. Now with Portal, believe it or not, Portal Dash, Parallel Escape, and Dimensional Rift is not the highest damage dealing move. It's actually Quantum Leap. If you place it down and place it right, it'll infinitely teleport them until the move disappears, which allows us to deal a max total damage of 14,171. And yes, I'm actually gonna count that because technically you could get that amount of damage or high if you place it right on NPCs. Which is honestly crazy to say, but in terms of damage, Portal is going at the top of S, above Magma. Ah yes, my favorite fruit, Rumble, my main. Now there's no point to test any of the other abilities on this. The max damage dealing move is Thunderball Destruction. So as soon as this gets off this long at cooldown, we can test that out. All right, I've got this thing charged to its maximum. Now after using it, we get a total of only 4,432. Yikes, that's not as high as I was hoping. That's just gonna get Rumble at the top of D tier. Maybe the Pain Fruit will do better. The highest damage dealing move with Pain is Torture. Let's go ahead and see how much this does. Okay, it stuns them, it does damage, and it does poison damage. We're dealing 151 per tick, which gets us a total of 4,385. Essentially around the same as Rumble. And now we have one more legendary fruit of the video, ladies and gentlemen, the Blizzard Fruit. For this one, I'm gonna have to test it out in an area where there's no NPCs, otherwise the damage is not gonna be accurate. And let's activate Blizzard Domain. All right, okay, the damage is climbing. Let's see the potential of this. Oh, this is already 6,000. 7, will it reach 8? 8,207. Wow, just wow, bro. That puts Blizzard not only in A tier, but at the upper echelon of A tier, right under Buddha. What a way to end off the legendary. But now that we got the legendaries out the way, it's finally time to move on to the last rarity, mythicals. Starting with Gravity. Gravity is interesting because it has two different unique type of moves, a barrage with Gravity Obeisance and Meteor Rain, which summons a bunch of meteors. So first off, let's start with Gravity Obeisance. I'm assuming this one will deal a lot. 3,888, just shy of 4,000. Not as much as I was expecting. What about Meteor's Pitch? Does that do a lot? 3,105 per meteor. Ooh, that means Meteor's Rain is going to be up there. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Just to accurately do this, I'm going to teleport myself into a compact area. Since I have friendly PvP mode on, I should be able to attack into a safe zone. Let me go ahead and get my ult right in this corner right over here. Let's use Meteor's Rain. Let's try to aim that all as much as we can. 7,339. All those hit, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, who would have thought, boys? Who would have thought? Gravity instantly makes an A tier, but I believe it's towards the bottom. Ah, yes, everybody's favorite beast fruit, T-Rex. I lied. Nobody says this is their favorite. For this one, I've got to get my Fury Meter full and transform to maximum so we can see the highest potential for damage for this. All right, there we go. Maximum transformation. And this actually deals damage. So before we transform, let me go ahead and do it right in front of this guy. Now, T-Rex also has a factor where it has a damage over time effect. And the further you are from the opponent, the more damage it deals. So just off transformation alone, we deal a total of 4,500 at max distance. Insanity. Tail swipe. All right. 2,800 on initial hit. And at max distance, we get a total of 5,846. Almost 6,000 on the first move. Let's see Predatory Screech. Let me hold this to its maximum. All right. 4,000 off initial hit. Hold on. If we go maximum distance with an AoE, that's almost 7,000. That is 7,000. Insane. There's only one more move worth testing, and that is Hunter's Rage. Let's go ahead and try that out. All right, 2,600 off initial hit. Oh, this is gonna deal way less. Yeah, this is gonna deal way less. Hunter's Rage tops out at 5,226. Hey, well, you know what? T-Rex just propelled itself straight into A tier. And I think it's actually above gravity. Now, T-Rex may have been fire, but let's see if the next one above it is the Mammoth. All right, so I know the transformation deals damage on this one too. So let's see what that deals. Okay, only 1,917. Not nearly as much as T-Rex. I'm willing to bet the highest damage dealing move of Mammoth is gonna be the M1. So let's go ahead and go with that first. Ooh, 5,679 for the M1. Not bad, not bad. We're going to completely skip out Stampede because, again, this is an infinite move that you can hold forever. So for the sake of the list, it's not going to be fair. All right, next up, let's test out Ancient Cutters. Only 2,982 on that one. What about Tribute Suck Punt? Even less. What is happening? Okay, Colossal Crusher? 3,123. Well, the M1 did like 5,800, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, 5,700 almost. So while Mammoth may not be as high as T-Rex, it is still gonna go in B tier. Not too shabby. Wonder how good the Dough Fruit's gonna be, though. Everybody's favorite spam fruit. Now, this one we're gonna have to go a little more in depth because it has a lot of moves, and some of these moves have dual uses. Start this off with the M1. Okay, 1,600 per M1, and then the final one, 3,763 for the M1 combo. Not that good. Okay, Missile Jab, less than that even. Now we get the Patient River, which is the interesting one. There's a grounded variant, which deals 3,420. But let's see if the aerial variant does even more. 3,420 is the number of the beat, and we get 3,563 for the aerial variant. Does like 100 more damage. All right, Piercing Clothesline next. 1,140 for the first initial hit. 2,565. Comes up to a total of 3,700. Dough is not doing as much as I thought it would. Final ability, Dough Fist Fusillade. We're gonna hold this as high as it can go. All right, 3,000, 4,000, 5,700. Well, at the very least, it made it into B tier. I'm not gonna complain about that. And I believe this is actually higher than Mammoth. Still not as high as I thought Dough would really get. Oh, Shadow Fruit. This is perfect because it's currently nighttime. I believe Shadow gets a little bit of a damage boost during nighttime. But first off, just to make this as accurate as possible, we got to get this Umber meter full. All right, we're almost there. There we go. Full Umber meter. I'm just going to go straight for the ultimate, Corvus Torment. That makes the most sense. We're already at 5,000 damage. Hold on. I think the total of this is probably going to deal like 8,000. And it totals at 8,480. Almost 9,000 damage off the ult. Who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen? Who would have thought? Shadow is going straight in A. And it's actually going towards the top of A. These mythical fruits cooking. We just got done with the purple fruit Shadow, and now we're about to go to another purple fruit Venom. Now for this one, we also need our Fury meter full just to get maximum damage. And there we go, transformation full. All right, we're ready. Let's go ahead and transform. Do we get any damage off transforming? Nope, we get no damage. First move, we have Poison Daggers, and I'm actually gonna have my Trendy Dummy be in the corner just so we can see the maximum damage potential. All right, he's gonna stand in the poison. Ooh, that's deadly. Ooh, that's deadly. Huh? 11,418 for the first ability. That's almost death. And I think it gets even better, boys. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me hold this Noxic Shot fully. Let's see how much that deals total. Oh, that's big damage. That's big boy damage. Oh my God. Yo. Are we gonna hit 12,000? We're gonna hit 13,388. Oh, no. That's crazy. And last but not least, Toxic Fog. Let's see how much damage this deals. I think the potential for this one is really high. Let's see. That's only one way to find out, really. That's not that high. But hey, that doesn't take away from the impressiveness of Venom. It's going at the top of S. Well, the bottom of S. It didn't do more than Magma or Portal, I believe. Still, it's up there. And I already know you guys are arguing in the comments saying, oh, but nobody's just gonna stand there in the poison. Well, technically you could farm NPCs like this and have the NPC stay in the poison. So damage is sort of realistic. Control Fruit next. All right, let's activate Room. First off, let's test off the Echo Knife damage. Echo Knife, I meant. Okay, this deals a total of 4,700. Not bad. And then now let's check out the maximum potential, which is gonna be Gamma Rush. So initial hit did 95 damage. Okay, Gamma Rush, 5,874. So overall, the control damage is not bad, but it's not that great either. That said, it still clears B tier easily, and I think it's actually above Mammoth. Starting to get in some of the new fruits, ladies and gentlemen, because up next, I got the Gas Fruit. Look at that night fruit model. One of the best fruit models in the game, in my opinion. Now for this, we got to get our gas meter full, so let me do that real quick. But first off, we might as well test out the M1 damage. 3,465. M1 damage is mid for this one. All right, transformation is ready. Let's go ahead and see the M1 damage now. Does it increase? Ooh, it increases a lot. 5,446. That almost alone makes it B tier. Not quite, though. Let's go ahead and check Suffocating Fumes. This is the first ability. How much damage does that deal? Total of 3,011. Bursting Vapor. Only 2,970. Both these moves individually do not deal that much damage, but it does have an interesting feature where if you use Suffocating Fumes, then use Bursting Vapor, it explodes, dealing more damage. So let's go ahead and experiment with that. Do the two moves. Yeah, that deals a lot more. But this video ain't us testing the total damage of each move. We're trying to see which moves on each fruit deal the most damage. So let's go ahead and check out the potential of this. Traveling Gas, 3,112. Last but not least, we have Smog Demons. And for Smog Demons, we deal a total of... Ooh, actually has poison damage too. 5,350, which is still lower than the M1s in the transformation state. Well, not exactly what I was expecting. Gas, you couldn't even make it in B tier. But at least you made it at the top of C. Anyways, with Gas out the way, we really only have like 5 more mythical fruits left. Let's speed this up with Spirit. Now, Spirit actually has a bunch of interesting mechanics, but in order to make this fair, we're not going to test out all the spirits stacking together. We're going to test them out individually. So let me summon this one. Let's see how much damage the frog deals. 722 per tick. I think it does it 3 times before disappearing. So 722 times 3, that means the frog has a maximum damage of 2,166. We summon another spirit, which is the tree. This one deals 361 per tick. Maximum of 1,083. A lot lower. All right, we got the mushroom. Now let's see the potential damage he can deal. Deals 289 per tick, and I think he stays here for like 10 or 15 seconds. So he deals a total damage of 4,621 for a spirit. Kinda insane. But now let's speed this up. End of Times is our best damaging dealing move, and it deals a total 7,510, which makes the Spirit Fruit Man instantly at A, and I think it's actually up here as well. It's furry time, ladies and gentlemen. We got a leopard in the building. Why did I just say it's furry time? Don't clip that. All right, let's go ahead and check out this damage. Transformation does 2,147. All right, let's see how much the M1 alone does. 5,583. That's B tier alone off the M1. And I think the highest damage dealing move other than that is Finger Revolver. So let's see if we can get all this. 5,516. Well, not as high as I was expecting, but at the very least, it made it in B tier, so, you know, I can't complain about that. But what about the Yeti Fruit, ladies and gentlemen? The newest replacement for Leopard. First off, let's see how much damage this transformation deals. Okay, not as much. 400 less, I believe. Let's see how much the M1s deal here. 4,232. All right, Arctic Clap. Only 2,963. Boulder, not even 4,000. Glacial Execution. 3,668. What is happening? I thought Yeti would be more than Leopard damage. Last but not least, Tundra Rush. All right, only 3,174. This doesn't even make it into B tier. It tops out at C. 3 more fruits left. Dragon East, Dragon West, and Kitten. First off, let's transform and see if that deals any damage. 2,638. Now let's check in an M1 combo. Okay, boom, 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 boom. 8,000. Wait, hold on. Do I have hockey on? He has hockey on. 8,676 off of M1? That's insane. That's insane, boys. I'm not even gonna check the rest of these abilities out. Over 8,000 off an M1 combo with Kitsune is crazy. And you already know Foxfire Disruption would be close to that too. This is going to straight A, bro. This is going straight A. Hey, bro. Kitsune? Kitsune may need a nerf. Nah, I'm playing. Don't nerf my baby. All right, boys. Last up on the list, we got Dragon East and Dragon West. And we're gonna start off with Dragon East. Let me go ahead and get my fear meter real quick. Full transformation ready. Before we actually do this, we might as well go test it on him, because I think it might deal damage. And it looks like no damage is done by transforming. Interesting. All right, first things first, let's test out the flamethrower or the M1 of Dragon East. All right. I think I missed most of that, but it doesn't look like the damage is going to be too high for that whole thing. What about Inferno Pincer? 4,342. That's not as much as I thought it'd be. What about Draconic Soar? Only 3,431. What is happening? I thought Dragon would be much higher than this. Oh, let's go ahead and test out Heat Wave Cannon. Let's charge this thing fully, see what it does. Only 4,523. I thought Dragon would output way more than this. This is a shock to me. Hopefully Dragon West is higher though. We've got one final ability, Scorching Downfall. If this doesn't at least do 5,000, let me see. Ooh, 6,762. That's the damage I was wanting to see for Dragon. I'll take that. I'll take that. 6,700 puts it in the middle of B. But what about Dragon East? Did I say Dragon East? I meant Dragon West. All right, full transformation ready on West. And for this one, we're not even going to test out any of the other moves. We already know Scorching Downfall obviously deals the most damage. All right, let's go ahead and transform. Oh, this one actually deals damage. I mean, not that much damage, but it deals damage. All right, so it's no more time. Scorching Downfall. Let's see the maximum potential damage for this. Hold it all the way until it forces us to let it go. There we go. Okay. Wait, 5,986. That did like almost 1,000 less damage than East. That said though, it's still undisputably B tier, just under East. Here we have the entire tier list right here made, ladies and gentlemen. I try to do this as accurately as possible, although I am open to feedback. Let me know what I can improve on. The Katana. This is one of the first swords you can actually get. All you have to do is talk to an NPC and give him 1,000 belly to get it. And obviously just looking at the sword, how it looks pretty mid. I mean, apart from the fact that I have lightning coming from it, that's my blessing. It doesn't look that appealing. We do get 2 moves with this sword, just like any other weapon, called Quiet Rush and Air Slash. slash. And if we look at the abilities, you guys can see the damage is not good. Only 1,746 with max stats is very mid. And let me just say the second ability is no better. Air slash, very mid. And I'm gonna be honest, me personally, I don't think there's anything cool about this, and definitely doesn't provide any utility for PvP or combos. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even grind with this, to be honest. So for sword number 1, Katana, we're gonna be putting this in straight Dookie tier. And this is also gonna apply for the Cutlass, because even though the Cutlass has a different outward appearance, the moves are exactly the same. Quiet Rush and Air Slash. If we look at how they look, it's basically copy paste. So Cutlass automatically already goes to Dookie as well. And I'm not gonna lie, if any of y'all are arguing with me on that, you're just rage baiting at that point. But what about dual Katana? I mean, this is 2 times the amount of sword as regular Katana, so it's gotta be better, right? This one does look a lot saucier. I mean, we have dual sword style, and we do get different moves called Whirlwind and Tornado. But when we actually look closer at the abilities, we can see it's not very good. While the damage is higher, because I have Burn Blessing on here, the range and utility is not that good. Look at this. Low range, it only went barely in front of me. And as for the second ability, Tornado, even less range. With the Tornado ability, they have to stand within a circle radius of you to even hit. I mean, even this guy right here can't even be hit from there, making this have 0 combo potential on top of the damage being mid. But I will say the moves do look kind of cool. That said though, it's still fated to go to the straight Dookie tier, but I will put it above Cutlass and Katana. Up next though, we're moving on to the Shark Saw. This is one of the earlier swords you can obtain in the game, so it's actually going to be pretty decent for grinding. And I mean, just look at that model. This is one of the coolest looking swords in the game. But I'm afraid that's all the good things I can say about this, because when you go to the moves, for example, consecutive slashes, not that good. The only long range is the final slash. And it gets even worse when you look at execution. I mean, this is slow. You're not ever going to be able to land that in PvP. I mean, it could be decent for grinding, but that's about it. But another cool thing about this sword is on the 5th M1, we do get a unique down slam. But that down slam is not enough to save it from going straight in the Dookie tier. But I will put this above Dual Katana. And you know what? While we're already at the Pirate Village, let's move on next to the Iron Mace. The reason why is because you can buy the sword from this guy right here, Sword Dealer of the West. Now, this sword model-wise actually looks pretty decent. I mean, it's a nice little mace. And just like the previous sword, this one also gets a nice M1 on the last one. Nice AoE there. But for our first ability, Mace Smash, it's pretty much like the name sounds. You have a long range smash instead of a close range one, which is actually pretty decent. But that's the best move in the entire kit, because Killer Combo is a close range one. You have to be literally right in front of the enemy to even hit him, which means this is completely unusable in PvP. Look at this. I can stand right here and Killer Combo would still barely hit. Yeah, we already know where this weapon's going, bro. It's going right here. I'm actually gonna put that below Shark Saw. Shark Saw has more range. Next up, we got Triple Katana. This is the base version, the Walmart version. You know, I actually think this is one of the better ones from the commons. I mean, look at this. Visually, this doesn't look bad. I mean, it's still mid, but like, it doesn't look bad. M1s wise, last M1s push you forward. Pretty much the same thing as True Katana. But we do have a decent ability, Air Slash Barrage. This is at least doable in PvP. You could create combos with this, kind of. I mean, something like this. Air Slash Barrage. I mean, that's a little mini combo you can do. And last but not least, we have Violent Rush, which is a dash, pushes you forward. Air Slash Barrage is definitely better in my opinion. But that said, even though you can do combos with this, making it slightly usable, it's still not escaping the Dookie jail, bro. I'm gonna be honest. But it is pretty cool, though. Coolest one we've seen so far. Warden Sword next. What do I even gotta say about this sword, man? I mean, like, there's just nothing really good to say about it. Let's just showcase these. Multi-target slash. What was that? What was that? How are you ever supposed to use that in PvP? Tornado slash? That one, I guess you could use. I mean, it has decent range, but like, it went from here to here, and then it disappeared. I'm not even gonna say anything further about this sword, bro. There's literally nothing else I can say. Going in straight Dookie tier for this. And you know what? While we're at it, let's just add another quick one to Dookie tier. Dual-headed blade. This is also in there for basically the same reason as Warden sword. They're both garbage. Damn, a lot of these first ones are going in straight Dookie tier, bro. But you know what? Next up, we got one that's not gonna be a Dookie tier. For some reason, this sword is an uncommon. We have twin hooks. You can actually not obtain this until 3rd Siege, which is why I don't understand why it's an uncommon. But this sword is actually really good. Model-wise, this looks pretty decent, and it just got reworked recently. First move, we have Sky Cyclone. You grab onto someone and slam them up, which allows for combo potential. I mean, you can easily pair that in with God Human or a portal ability afterwards, but that's not it. Next ability, True Prehistoric Punt. You grab onto the enemy, slam into him, which directly combos into Sky Cyclone. Not only is this sword pretty cool, it actually has some really good combo potential and is honestly, in my opinion, underrated. So for the first sword in the video to escape the Dookie jail, we're gonna put twin hooks in good tier. You're definitely cooking some good builds with this. And you know what? Just to finish off the Dookie tier, I'm also going to put Trident down in Dookie tier. And the reason for this is even though Trident Throw is actually a pretty decent ability, I mean, you can pull in enemies to you. It is Kennable. It doesn't break Ken. And the second ability, Water Pulse, literally has no range. And I tested this with my friend in private servers. Even after the initial hit, you could just Ken and escape and punish afterward. And the last one I'm going to be putting in Dookie tier is going to be Pole First Form, but I will put this at the top of Dookie. Pole First Form is our first legendary sword we're going to be ranking, which I have no idea why this is a legendary. It really doesn't deserve to be. First off, for our first ability, Explosive Cloud, it's a slow traveling move. You see how slow that is? And then it explodes on impact. But there's no applicable situation you could ever use that in PvP. So this does nothing for you in PvP. Like, look at this. They have so much time to escape and avoid that, and it doesn't even break camp. And for our second ability, Lightning Rain, that move also comes out really slow. Definitely tough to aim. And the damage is just not that good. But that right there, I would say, completely wraps up the Dookie tier. I don't think any sword here on out is that bad. Now, the next sword I'm going to be ranking might get some of y'all mad. It might be a bit controversial, but we're going to be going with the Soul Cane, one of the most beloved skilled PvP swords in the game. Now, this one just got a model rework, giving it a completely new model, which actually looks pretty sick. And if you pull it out, it's not a bad sword. And as for the abilities, they're also not bad. First one being Soul Beam. Decent long-range stun, which if you hit an enemy, it freezes them for a second or two, allowing you to combo. And our second ability, Soul Slashes, a barrage which also stuns and can combo in with Soul Beam. Now you're probably looking at these abilities thinking, wow, this looks really good sword. I mean, it stuns, it allows for combo potential. What's bad about it? Well, I'll tell you what, none of these moves can break, and with Soul Slashes, you can actually activate Ken while being hit in it to avoid and punish the person using Soul Cane. Now, on top of that, the damage is also not that desirable. So for that reason and that reason alone, we're going to be putting Soul Cane in good tier below Twin Hook. I mean, it's considered a skilled sword for a reason. Next sword, we're moving on to Pipe. This actually got reworked twice for some reason. Once a year ago and once kind of now. Like, it's got a new model. But despite all the reworks, I don't think this is that good. First ability, we have Pipe Ignition. You kind of like go into an opponent, suck them up, and slam them down. But this can be completely avoided by Ken, and the damage isn't even that good. 3,500 damage. And as for the second ability, we have Dragon Blast, a long range, actually medium range blast, which also doesn't do any stun and also could be Ken. That said though, it's definitely not Dookie tier. It's still decent. So we're going to put this at least in N tier. It's usable, but I'll tell you what ain't usable, boys. Orochi. Like, as much as I don't like Pipe, I like Orochi even less. You won't see me using this unless it's for a challenge. First one, Continuous Slashing. This does look like a decent ability, right? If you're able to land this, this is decent because, I mean, that's 5,379 damage. But what opportunity would you get to even use this? I mean, maybe if you pair this up with Portal, it could be decent. I mean, you could just stun like this. But the thing is, this is Kennable. And as for the second ability, Dragon Gust, that one's actually not bad. I mean, decent damage, 5,000. It comes out pretty quick, but it's not enough to make the sword good. It's going in and below Pipe. You know, for this next one, let's do one of my favorite swords, the Dark Dagger. What's not to like about this sword, man? It just got a new model. It looks fire. It's saucy. And we have two very good abilities. First ability being Proficient Impale. It's a medium range lunge, which actually, let me aim it away from the enemy a little bit. You can see it kind of sucks them in. And it also pushes them back in a straight line. And another cool thing is I found out that Proficient Impale is actually a Ken break. Now on to the second ability, Shaming Slash, my favorite one. This one also breaks Ken, by the way. You throw this out, it's a long range ability where once you land it, you teleport behind the opponent and knock them back. This can start so many combos, but it's also one of the hardest moves to land in the game, heavily relying on aim and precision. Now, despite how cool Dark Dagger looks, I'm still going to put it only in good tier, but above Twin Hooks. That said though, it's really underrated. I think more people should use it. I mean, paired up with the right build, it's very deadly. And while we're on the topic of deadly, this next sword definitely fits that description. The Saber Sword, an often overlooked sword because of how early you can obtain the game, but it holds the title for the highest damage dealing sword. Now you guys can see the model looks pretty cool. I also do have a Burn Blessing on here, and we also have two different abilities, Deadly Rush, Triple Slash. This sword also has a unique mechanic where the amount of distance you are from your opponent when you use your move determines the damage. For example, Deadly Rush, if I'm really close to my opponent, deals this much damage. This is the sweet spot damage, dealing a total of 5,072. However, let's say I move back a little bit, now it only deals 2,000. And the maximum you can get off one move is 6,181. I think actually you could get even higher than that. But despite how much damage this sword deals, it's not going ungodly and it's definitely not going amazing. I'm still gonna put it in good tier. Now while the Saber Sword may not be that desirable to use, this next sword definitely is. The Gravity Blade. I mean, does this sword even need any introduction? I'm sure y'all run into this on the daily. First ability being Dimensional Grasp. This pulls in an enemy from far, allowing you to combo them, and it goes through Ken. And on top of that, the cooldown is actually really short on this thing. I mean, look at that. This is one of the best combo starters in the game for the fact that it breaks Ken. I mean, it just allows so many different things to be done. And while the damage may not be that high, it doesn't even matter because this move alone makes it the ultimate support sword, being able to pair with like literally 90% of the builds in the game. And our second ability, Lunar Blitz, is also pretty good, but it can be Ken. That said though, you can still catch people off guard with it and the damage is not too shabby. It would honestly be dumb for me to put Gravity Blade in anything other than straight godly tier because this is where it belongs. It's just too brain dead. Next up, we have another very high damage dealing sword, the Bicento Blade. An honestly really underrated sword that I think needs a little more recognition. And you know what? We're not even going to yap on this one that long. Let me just show you why. I'm going to use both of these abilities and pay attention to how much damage this does. Quick Sphere, Windbreaker, literally over 8,000, almost 9,000 damage with those 2 moves alone. Insanity. And the crazy part about it is a Windbreaker didn't even all hit. The only issue with this sword is that the Windbreaker is Kennable, as you guys can see right there. So after hitting Quake Sphere, they could literally activate Ken to avoid being hit by both of those. That said though, because the damage is so insane, this is still going at the bottom of amazing tier, man. I'm gonna be honest, it needs more recognition. But you know what doesn't need more recognition, boys? The Flail Sword. I absolutely hate this sword. The first move is absolutely garbage. Smoke Leopard, bro. Like, that move's Kennable. It has like very low range and it's slow. I mean, look at this, bro. Nobody's getting hit by that. But one thing I will acknowledge this sword for is the Smoke Apparition ability. It's actually not bad. First off, to demonstrate you guys the abilities of this, I have my ult right here. He's gonna have Ken on. This not only breaks Ken, but it blinds him and stuns him temporarily, making this actually semi-decent for combo. But you still won't ever catch me using it. That said though, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of good. And up next, we have the beautiful pirate sword, Ken Vander. This one's honestly not that bad. I mean, visually, the sword model looks pretty good. You got some nice, beautiful looking, elegant M1s. And this sword actually holds the record for one of the fastest combos in the game. Now, both of these abilities are pretty similar, Piercing Dash and Scattering Gust. Let me show you Piercing Dash. Pretty much like the name implies, you lunge forward. Visually, it doesn't look that good. Same thing with Scattering Gust. You lunge forward, except this one has more like a slash type ability. It does a bit more damage. Now, this sword's actually pretty decent because both Piercing Dash and Scattering Gust breaks Ken. You guys can see my ult right here is Ken. Let me use Piercing Dash. It broke Ken. The same is true with Scattering Gust. That said though, the damage is very mid for this sword. I mean, especially if you're going against someone with Bounty Boost, you're not going to be dealing that much damage on top of the fact that it has little range. I mean, so for Convander, I'm going to put this in the good tier above Soul King. I mean, I can't really put it much higher than that. I don't really see much cases it can be good. Hold on, I just realized it's crazy to have Flail right here. I'm actually going to remove Flail from good down to Like, I don't even know what I was thinking of good, but it will stay at the top of You know, for this next sword, let's actually get to the first mythical rating of the video, the Hollow Sight. Now, despite the fact that this is a mythical and it's really hard to obtain, it's pretty big. It's almost dookie. And I know I'm going to make a lot of y'all upset on this, but hear me out. So we have 2 different abilities, Death Cyclone and Soul Execution. Now, Death Cyclone in terms of damage is really good. I mean, it's a nice cyclone that does actually 6,268 damage. That's not the issue here. It pushes your enemy very far. I mean, look at this. This knockback is crazy. Not only that, it can be Ken while you're in the middle of it. So in terms of combo potential, not really doing you any favors. And it also doesn't Ken break. So in terms of like landing it, they can just dodge that and punish you for even doing that. Second ability, Soul Execution. This one's just hard to actually work with. And on top of that, it also does knockback. Yeah, this sword is overall pretty mid. I'm going to put this one in straight meh tier. It only exists for one reason, and that is the Admingler combo. Though, it will go to the top of meh. And you know what? While we're on the meh tier, let me go ahead and finish this off real quick. I only think a few more swords need to go there. First one being the Coco Sword. Now, this sword's going to go in F for only a few reasons for me. I mean, this sword just doesn't provide much support. There's little builds it's actually good at. And in terms of combo potential, not really existent. It does have a good long-range ability, Injection Shot, which does decent damage. I mean, 4,890 for cooldown is pretty short, and it's spammable, which is good. And on top of that, it does break Ken. But unfortunately, the first ability, Electric Stab, does not. So you can see he completely avoided Electric Stab, which is the one thing that could have been a combo extender or a combo starter for Coco. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work. Yeah, we got literally no combos for this, just all spam. It's going at top of below Hollow Sight. And now I think there's only one more sword that belongs in And in my opinion, it's gotta be Saishi. Now I know there's gonna be a lot of players defending this sword with their life in the combos down below. Hear me out. I know it has some combo potential, but I don't think it's as good as other swords. I mean, you could easily pick so many better options. This one, you're just limiting yourself by using it. First ability, Swords Dance. It's a nice barrage that grabs and slams them up, which you could combo potential with, but it's a little difficult, and I think it only really works well with specific builds. Let me see, does this even break Ken? Okay, it does break Ken, but I wonder if you can after the barrage. Let's find out. I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna go over to my ult account and try to Ken and escape. Yep, you can actually avoid it after the first hit. So even though the first hit of Swords Dance breaks Ken, the rest of that can be avoided, and then they can just punish you for using that. And as for our second ability, True Air Slash, this is just the kid. Also didn't break Ken. Now, if you were to pair this with Cyborg, it could be decent, but I just don't think it's worth using in my opinion. That said, though, I will at the very least give Saishi top of I do think it's better than Hollow Sight. And you know what? I think that wraps up tier. I don't think there's any other swords in this list left that are really that low. Actually, no, I just lied. We have Longsword. Yeah, I'm actually gonna put that at the bottom of Not even gonna get into why. It's just bad. So we got Dookie tier finished, and as well as tier. Now we just gotta finish good, amazing, and godly tier. Now, you know what? For this next sword, we're gonna get into one that I think deserves godly tier, and that is the Buddy Sword. A sword that I believe deserves way more recognition than it gets. For starters, both moves break Ken, both Heat Slash and Lightning Wave. And although you could activate Ken after Heat Slash to avoid the damages, it is a bit tough to time. And now I know a lot of new players are probably thinking, wow, why is Buddy Sword getting godly tier? Let me explain. This is a sword that that gets significantly better the better player you are. If you're brand new to PvP, this is probably going to seem like one of the worst swords in the game. That is because it's hard to use. It requires really good aim and precision. But the moment you get good at the game, you'll be able to start to do combos like this. Instant one-shot combo. I just dealt like 14,000 damage in second. The damage is insane with Buddy Sword. It allows for very fast-paced one-shot combos. And another thing about the Buddy Sword is its range is insane. I mean, look at this. This guy right here, I'm gonna snipe him from all the way over here. Look at that. And that damage is kind of crazy, bro. 5,808. What's there not to love about this? It's a nice sword that's really good, but also really rewarding. It's skill. So for those reasons, boys, I'm gonna be putting it in godly tier, and I'm actually gonna put it above gravity blade. I think it has higher potential. Now, this last bit of swords we have left are all going to be tough to rank because this is when we start getting to all the good stuff. And this is where I'd also like to disclose that this tier list is based off my opinion and experience. If you disagree with anything, completely fine, but try to be respectful and comment down below what you disagree with. I'm down to debate. But for our next sword, we're getting into Rengoku, ladies and gentlemen. This is honestly a really cool sword with some nice visuals. Our first move is called Demon Slayer, which is a command grab that goes through Ken. It slashes him and pushes him back. The damage is also pretty decent on that. The problem with Rengoku that holds it back is the second ability, Burning Slash. This is a long-range fire slash, which is kind of slow. It doesn't break Ken, however, it can be held. You can hold the Burning Slash like this, and now it will break Ken, but who's realistically going to let you sit there and hold that in a PvP battle? Look at that. Sword itself doesn't have much combo potential. The damage is high, but the second move really holds it back, I feel. That said, it's far from bad. In fact, I think it's pretty decent, so it's going to go in good tier. And I'm actually going to put it above Saber. Now, what sword should I rank next? You know, let's go with a brain dead one. Shark Anchor, bro. This needs no introduction. Literally, no introduction. I'm not even going to explain myself much on this one. Let me just say one word. Spam. First ability, Typhoon Toss. You launch a sword. It has crazy distance. 5,276 damage. Cooldown is stupid short on that. Like, look. I literally already have my move back. And look at the range this could go. Look at that. Range is insane on that. The damage is insane. It breaks Ken on impact. And let's get into the second ability. Armor Breaker. Also breaks Ken on impact and leads into the first move. Look at this. Boom. Typhoon Toss. Combo potential. Start lands on the God Human. It's even better with Sanguine. Works with WinterKloudz as well. This is literally one of the most versatile swords in the game. Straight godly tier, man. Straight godly tier. And I ain't arguing with anyone on that. I'm just not. You know, there's actually something I want to change about this list. I know I put Soul Cane in good, but I low-key think he down in Like, I just realized there's no way I can say Soul Cane's better than Saishi and Hollow Sight. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Anyways, moving on. Next sword we're going to get into is actually maybe a bit of a controversial one, but hear me out. Midnight Blade. This is one of the coolest looking swords in the game, in my opinion. I mean, just look at the modeling. Like the model of the sword is fire, especially with my lightning blessing on it. And as for the abilities, I mean, look at this. Portal opening. You lunge forward, nice little barrage. It looks fire. Same with Crescent Dash. Lunge forward, nice barrage. And both of the moves can lead into each other. While Portal Opening does break Ken on the first hit, you could literally just save your Ken, allow it to hit you, Ken during the barrage, escape, and punish the opponent for hitting them. And Crescent Dash just straight up just doesn't break Ken at all. That said, though, the damage on this is still pretty decent. I mean, look at that. Like 5,615 damage. That's nothing to scoff at. So it's still going to get a decent rating, but it's definitely not godly, and it's definitely not amazing. So there's really only one other place Midnight Blade could go, and that's in the middle of good tier. Only a little bit left to go, ladies and gentlemen, and let's speed through these next few. Next up, we got Shizu. This is honestly one of my favorite skilled swords to use. There's a reason why it's considered skill. First of all, both abilities, True Quiet Rush and Focus Shot, are Kennable. Yeah, none of these moves break Ken. However, this is still pretty good for combo potential because you could use Quiet Rush, turn around, God Human moves, boom. The only issue is that none of that is true. This is a really fast sword though with good combo potential, and even though none of these moves are Ken breaks, you could pair this together with something like Cyborg or Draco and make it a little better. That said though, boys, like I said with Soul Cane, there's a reason why this is considered a skilled sword. I mean, the damage is only decent. It has good combo potential if you can land the moves, but that's the issue, landing the moves. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the highest I can put Shisui is at good tier, and I'm gonna put that actually below Rengoku. Spiky Trident. Ooh, one of the best fruit main swords in the game. Now this sword falls short for the same reasons that Shisui does. Both Do Hurricane and Flying Trident pull are Kennable and can be avoided, making 90% of the combos with Spiky Trident untrue. However, if you pair together both Shisui and Spiky Trident with Cyborg, making combos true, oftentimes Spiky Trident is going to come out on top. One of the reasons being, though Hurricane is really good for movement. For example, let's say you're about to get hit with a move, you hit this, avoid the ability, and do that. Second one for combos. Spiky Trident pull starts so many combos, especially for fruits. And if you pair it together with Cyborg, it becomes really deadly. I like to call Spiky Trident the combo creator. I'm going to be honest, there's like literally countless combos with this. For me, in my opinion, it's going straight amazing. And now we get on to one of the swords that I ranked really low last last time, but this time I've actually adjusted it a little bit. Fox Lamp. Last time I was sleeping on Fox Lamp, but I see the potential now. Let's just get into the abilities. First off, we have Scorching Azure, which if you hold it, you don't ever want to do that by the way, and let it go, it stuns the enemy for multiple seconds. Now the damage is not that good, being only 4,800. The good thing about this move is that it actually breaks Ken on him. So let's say you're fighting someone who likes to have their Ken all the time, you throw out one of these, and then you start a combo. And since they broke their Ken, they won't be able to activate it again for a few seconds. The only issue is if you're fighting against someone who's smart, they'll wait for you to land this move, then turn on their Ken and avoid all the barrage. So it's not perfect, but it is good. Second ability, Internal Firestorm. You can either hold this ability, which has a long medium range fire and a lunge at the end. That part is Ken triggable, but there's two variations you could do. Instead, just tap it and hold. This part does break Ken, making Fox Lamp technically have 2 Ken breakers on both abilities, along with decent damage. Hey, all things considered, due to the damage alone and Ken breaks, in my opinion, Fox Lamp has got to go an amazing tier, but it's definitely not good enough to have God. You know what, for this next sword, we're gonna go with one of my favorites, Cursed Dual Katana. This sword needs little introduction. I mean, we all know about this, but for our first ability, we have Revolving Ravager. Now you can either hold or tap this ability, but this does not break Ken. This is what it looks like when you hold it. It actually does a lot of damage, 7,000, but if you just tap it, you see it really only does like around 5,000. This move does not break Ken, so it can be easily avoided and is a little tough to use unless you land something first, like a stun like this, then you can land it good, but it's something that has to be set up. Second ability, Slayer of Goliath, same deal. It's a long range lunge, which has a stun that you can combo with, but also does not break Ken. Actually, I kind of lied there. It breaks Ken if you tap it like this, but if you hold it fully, let's say you're trying to snipe somebody, that is fully Kenable. I don't know why it works that way. You would think it'd be the opposite, but hey, it is what it is. Now, 1 year ago, I gave this sword a godly tier rating, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that this year, because in my opinion, Cursed Dual Katana now just doesn't compete as well as it used to, so it's going to go straight at the top of amazing tier. Speaking of things that ain't godly, we're moving on to the Dark Blade. Honestly, I don't even get the hype of this sword. I mean, it's a Game Pass sword that's really not even that crazy. I mean, both abilities, 1,000 strikes and Dark Air Slash, are Kennable. While this sword does have really good damage, I won't deny that, and good combo potential paired up with the right fruit, there's just so many other better options. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you don't even need to waste your money getting this sword. And I know I sound like I'm hating right now, but like, trust me, it's still a really good sword. You can do stuff like this, easy one-shot combos like that. I completely messed that up, I'm not gonna lie, but y'all get the gist. I mean, paired up with a stun fruit with sword stats, you're dealing damage. But the fact that both moves don't break Ken just kind of ruins it for me. So it's gonna go straight in amazing tier, and I'm actually gonna put this above Spiky Trident, below Bicento. And for all you Dark Blade lovers out there, don't come at me. It ain't like I'm saying the sword's bad. It's just, let's be honest, it's not godly. It can't be. But let's talk about one that's undisputably godly, Dragon Trident. This sword single-handedly went from the worst sword in the game to literally top 3 with a single change. What to talk about with this sword? All right, first things first, Sea Dragon Fury breaks Ken. Yeah, this ability right here breaks Ken, on top of dealing 4,621. Now, the damage is not that high, but the fact that it breaks Ken with the first ability, insane. And as for our second ability, Water Dragon Shower, it's also a Ken break. And just look at this AoE, bro. Just look at this AoE. Look at that. Look at that AoE. You could probably close your eyes and guess where the enemy is at. You'd still probably hit him with that. And because both moves break Ken on impact, this makes starting combos really easy. I mean, you could literally just walk up to an enemy and do this, boom, boom, they're dead, and then, like, you know what, just repeat it. Especially if you have Ghoul or Cyborg, just do that all over again. Cooldowns are really short too. It's honestly baffling. The one thing this sword struggles from is air cannon. It's a very ground-based sword. I mean, Water Dragon Shower works best on ground. That said, though, that doesn't mean you can't catch air cannon, because you can also do this. You can aim this up in the air, and it'll shoot them down, and if you can catch it, that also starts combos. Not much else for me to even say about Dragon Trident, to be honest. It's super brain dead, super easy, and just insane. It's going straight godly above Sharking. Only 6 swords left to rank. And next up, we have an interesting one, Tushita, a sword that's actually not really used that often, that I think deserves a little more recognition. Why, you may ask? Well, both moves break Ken. Heavenly Lunges right here is a really good move that breaks Ken and does good damage. I mean, 6,230, very good. Also, did I forget to mention it breaks Ken? Pair this together with something like Songwind, you're gonna be creating some deadly combo. Next up, Celestial Ravager. This move is the more mid one. While it does break Ken, the damage is not as good, and I mean, the range is just limited, which I feel is what really holds this sword back. But this is where you add in items like Soul Guitar, Sanguine Art, and Portal, really make a full, complete build. I mean, I'm not saying it's godly or amazing or anything like that, but I think Tushita definitely deserves to be at the top of good tier. I mean, we can't underestimate it that much. It's definitely good. Now, since we got Tushita out the way, we might as well go to Yamane. And honestly, this sword, I think, has some of the best support out of any sword in the game. Now, this definitely isn't the best sword main weapon. It's more of a fruit support weapon, and let me explain why. First ability, Hellish Slash. This is really nice, but the damage is kind of mid, 5,036. And half the time it doesn't even do that much damage because the actual slash part of it is kind of difficult to hit. This move is also kennable, so you won't really be using this much in PvP at all. However, let me explain what it is good for. Mobility. Just like Spiky Trident, you could easily use this for mobility to dodge attacks like this and get an upper hand on movement. People have also found a way to do movement glitches with the Yama Z ability, kind of like this, God Human, where you get a burst of movement and are able to go really fast, like this. But that's not even the best part about the sword. Now we get to our second ability, Infernal Hurricane, which is a Ken break, launches you forward, stuns the enemy in there. They can't Ken the barrage, and this just starts so many different combos. One thing that comes to mind that pairs together really well with Yama is specifically Kitsune. Honestly, with Yama and Kitsune, it's one of the deadliest combos in the game, especially if you're pairing together with Sango. So it's going straight in amazing tier, and I'm actually going to put this above Fox Lamp under Curse Dual Katana. 4 swords left, and you know what, just to get one of these out the way, true triple Dark Blade. This is just a troll sword. I'm just going to put this straight godly. We don't even need to explain that. And aside from that, next up, we got Pole V2. This sword is still really good. I'm not even going to sleep on it. Let me just demonstrate why. Both of these moves are stun abilities, which lead for crazy combos if you can land them. Hand of God stuns them. You see it stuns them there for a second, allows you to use ability. Electric Prison, well, as the name literally says, it's a prison. It stuns. So both moves are really good with stun. So you could really use this with certain builds like Portal or Rumble, just to create crazy combos. Like look at the Hand of God, boom. They're just stuck there and they're just dead now. That said, the lack of range and lack of damage definitely leaves something to be desired, and the moves have a bit of end lag like that. So if you miss it, you're definitely gonna get punished hard. So in my opinion, Pole's second form can only go in good tier, but I'm actually gonna put this above both Midnight Blade and Twin Hooks. And now we get to the last 2 swords, ladies and gentlemen, True Triple Katana and Dragonheart. Now first off, we're just gonna get Dragonheart out the way. This is the newest sword in the game, but let me just say the combo potential on this one is kind of low. Not that there aren't combos, but I feel like this is definitely more of a spamming sword. For example, Internal Catastrophe, you can throw this out, it is very quick and Ken breaks and launches them up. Second ability, you go Draconic Blitz. It's a really big AoE which does a lot of damage and has a lot of spread. I believe both moves break Ken on impact. However, with Draconic Blitz, you can activate Ken to avoid damage while you're in it. Honestly, if you ask me, the best way I can describe Dragonheart is it's kind of like a worse Shark Anchor. Less combo potential, but more damage. I'm personally gonna put it at the bottom of Godly, actually above True Triple Dark Blade. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, True Triple Katana. There's honestly not much to say about this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and straight up put it at the top of Godly. It's the best sword in the game in my opinion. And just to give y'all a brief explanation, while the first move Wolf Fang Rush may not be the craziest, it is kennable, but it does a good amount of damage, 6,092. Though that's not the main attraction of the sword. The main attraction is Dragon Hurricane, a big tornado that does 6,347 damage. You can't Ken while you're inside of it, and it just allows for free combo. Also, did I mention that the hitbox of this thing is insane? I mean, just look at this. Dragon Hurricane, look at that, bro. It literally pulls them in from way over there. This sword holds so much damage. It holds so much brain deadness. It has one of the easiest one-shot combos to pull off, like literally a new 2.5 million bounty player could do. There's literally nothing bad about this sword, honestly. And I ain't gonna argue or debate with anybody on that. This is the complete sword tier list. Honestly, Godly, you could argue a lot of these. I mean, this isn't fully ordered, but everything else I would say is ordered. Now let's get on to the gun tier list. Here is the complete gun tier list. We have Soul Guitar, Dragonstorm, and Venombow in S tier. These are the top 3 guns in the game, in my opinion. You could really argue Dragonstorm above Soul Guitar or the opposite. These are not really ordered. A tier, we got Kabucha, followed by Magma Blaster. I think Magma Blaster is insane. Just have to have the right builds with it. Followed by B tier, we got Acid Rifle, more of a skilled gun, and then Dual Flintlock, and then everything else after that is just kind of mid. That there is every weapon ranked worst to best in Blox. Let me know what you guys agree or disagree with. I'm down to debate. And it all starts with the worst fruit in the game, Rocket. Now this fruit, you have 5 different abilities. First one being Missile Fist, second one being Airstrike, followed by Rocket Crash and Blast Off. And even though Rocket's one of the coolest common fruits in the game, it's not in One Piece at all. Because the closest ability to One Piece is by the user Baby5. She uses the Buki Buki Nomi. You guys can see kind of like a Missile Fist she's using right here. But honestly, it's really just a bit of a stretch. Like, that's not even close to this. So for our first fruit, Rocket, I've got to put it straight in no similarities tier. But next up, we got the Spin Fruit. And as the name implies, everything revolves around spinning. Now in the game, this is very bad fruit. I mean, the range is just kind of really low. The damage is kind of mid. And as you guys can see, it's a bit of a trend. I will say though, this helicopter flight looks pretty interesting. And in the anime, the user that uses it is named Buffalo. It's called the Guru Guru Nomi. As you can see, it's pretty accurate in terms of helicopter spin. But unfortunately, this is literally all we ever see him do in the anime. So despite the fact that spin's pretty accurate, like none of these abilities like happen in the anime. They really just freestyle with all of this, which they did a good job of doing. But despite that though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still gonna put spin in accurate tier. They did a decent job for what they had to work with. But let's see if the Blade Fruit is accurate. This used to be the Chop Fruit and it recently got reworked to avoid copyright. So is it still similar? Now this fruit actually has a passive that makes it impervious to all sword attacks. If I try to get attacked by a sword user, I just simply deflect all of it. And as for abilities, we have an M1 right here. We have our next ability, Razor Cyclone, which kind of launches you forward. Blade Dance, which is a barrage ability. Saw Shredder, long range ability, and Turbine Flight, where you just use your hands to propel yourself forward. And of course, in the anime, the person that uses the Chop Fruit, which is what Blade Fruit's based off of, is of course Buggy the Clown. As you guys can see right here, however, looks literally nothing like what we saw in Blox Fruits, with the only thing maybe being similar is when Buggy did this. He did his little chop barrage frenzy or whatever he wants to call it. This right here, where he's just throwing himself, which I guess is kind of similar to this, but not really at all. It used to be closer. So sadly, now the Blade Fruit's gonna have to go straight in, not even close to here. I can't justify putting it any higher. Moving on up next though, we got the Spring Fruit. Now with this fruit, all of the attacks are spring related based off of the name, and the first one looks like this. Spring Knock, kind of like you extend your arms a little bit. Spring Snipe, your legs become spring, propel yourself forward. Spring Cannon, kind of similar thing, except instead of springing yourself forward, you just jump up and down. Yeah, this fruit's pretty bad. But next up, we got Spring Leap, just launches you forward. And last but not least, the ultimate, Spring Emperor. Yeah, you just go crazy with springs. Overall, pretty bad ability on Blox Fruits, but that stands true to One Piece as well. Because in the anime, Spring Fruit is used by none other than Bellamy. And as you guys can see right here, he just did Spring Leap, Spring Tackle. Like, this is super accurate from what I'm seeing so far. But trust me, it gets even better. Because right here, we can see he's doing Spring Emperor. And it's literally super accurate to the game. Like, look, this is how it looks right there. And then another look at it right here, looks exactly the same. And if you can't see the similarities, you might need to get your eyes checked. But me personally, man, this is gonna be our first of the video, but I've got to put Spring Fruit all the way in copyright tier. This is like stupid close. And because of that comment I just made, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Spring rework anytime soon. But up next, we've got the Bomb Fruit. Bomb Fruit's pretty decent in this game. We have a long range ability, Targeted Bomb, where you kind of just shoot a bomb where you target this, literally like the name implies. Next up, we got Bomb Grab, where you kind of lunge at someone, grab them, and explode them. Landmines, where you just set mines on the floor, and whoever steps on these will get exploded. Explosive Jump, where you propel yourself forward. And this is a weird pose. Anyways, this is how that looks. And last but not least, Self-Destruct. The more you hold this, the more damage you deal until it's a big explosion, which does stupid amounts of damage. But how accurate is it to the anime? I'd say pretty decent. Now, the user of the Bomb Fruit in One Piece is a guy named Mr. 5. And as you guys can see right here, he just used Targeted Bomb. He literally flicked his booger at this guy and exploded Targeted Bomb. Unfortunately, though, this guy, Mr. 5, does not get much screen time, so we don't really get to see many of his abilities. Most of it is just that booger flick, which is kind of disgusting. But one other thing we do get to see him use is kind of like a landmine ability. You see, he puts that little mine down there and explodes Vivi. We also get to see Explosive Grab right here, and that's about it. Because he didn't get much screen time, we didn't get to see him do anything like Explosive Jump or Self-Destruct. So yeah, Blox Fruit's kind of just freestyled for that. Despite that though, I honestly think they did a pretty good job of doing it based off the anime, so this is gonna go straight in accurate tier, actually above Spin. Almost done with the common fruits, we have two more. Next up, we have the Smoke Fruit. This one, we got a lot of smoke-based abilities. First one being Smoke Slam, which is a nice little slam down. Smoke Blast, a long-range smoke attack, which is actually a barrage. Smoke Liberation, kind of like that. And then Smoke Bomber, where you kind of fly up and just throw smoke bombs down. One of my favorite common fruits in the game. And as for the anime, the Smoke Fruit is used by a guy named Smoker in One Piece. Kind of an interesting name, I'm not gonna lie. But he is absolute dookie. Like, he does not do much in One Piece. That said though, you guys can see this is fairly accurate. Like, just for example, we got Smoke Blast right there. This right here could kind of be like Smoke Liberation, low-key. And of course, we got Smoke Bomber, man. They actually cooked. The only thing they really didn't do, I guess, would be kind of like Smoke Slam, but he's done abilities similar to that. So you know what? The Smoke Fruit, man, it's not gonna go in copyright tier, but it is gonna go in very accurate tier. They made it pretty close. And last but not least, for the common fruits, we have the Spike Fruit. Now, just showcasing this real quick, this is a pretty trash fruit, I'm not gonna lie. We have Spike Summon, which allows you to summon a big spike wherever you point this at. Whirlwind, which is basically you turn into a Beyblade and start spinning around. Spiky Ball, turn into a ball, and you just start attacking people. And then Spike Barrage. Now, in One Piece, this is the user of the Spike Fruit, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not very accurate. The way it's used in Blox Fruits is not at all how it's used in One Piece. She kind of turns her bodies into Spike instead of using like long range spikes. What we do get though is her becoming this little hedgehog, which is exactly like Spike Ball. Nevertheless though, Spike Fruit is pretty accurate. I'm gonna put that actually above Bomb. And now we're moving on to the uncommon rarity of fruits, starting with the Flame Fruit. We about to cook. And Flame Fruit has a bunch of cool abilities like blue fire bullets. You shoot out literally blue long range fire bullets, Prominence Burst, a long range fire blast, Flamey Vortex, a vortex of flames, rocket flight, literally flying with fire, and most cool of all, Hell's Core, a literal spirit bomb of fire. We all know the user of Flame Fruit in One Piece, Portgate Marcus, the Ace, or Saba, whichever one you want. And I'm gonna be honest, it's really accurate to Blox fruits. We just saw two abilities that look exactly like what we saw in Blox fruits. We got fire guns right here, which is the blue fire bullets we saw, just this is red. Of course, can't forget flame commandment, fire pillar, which is flaming vortex. And of course, last but not least, we've got Hell's Core, or Flame Emperor in the anime, bruh. Literally 5 for 5. All abilities 100% accurate. I told you we was about to cook. Flame fruit, man, is gotta go straight copyright tier. And I'm gonna put that above spring. I don't know how they haven't reworked that yet. But anyways, enough yapping. Next up, we got the ice fruit. Let's see how close this one is to the anime. First off, we start off with the ice spear. It's a nice little M1 we can use, like a little bit of a sword. First ability, we got Glacial Storm. You summon a tornado of ice. Glacial Surge, a nice little pillar of ice you shoot out of your legs. Frozen Dragon, a long-range ice dragon that stuns anybody in the area. We have Ice Skating and Absolute Zero, basically just an AoE of ice. And if we compare it to the anime, this is Kuzan, who uses the ice fruit in the anime. And we can see right here, he does Ice Age, which is Absolute Zero. He literally just froze a sea beast, bro. You can't tell me that AI. And right here, we got Ice Saber, of course. You can't forget the Ice Sword. They also got that in the anime. And of course, we got Kuzan's Pheasant Beak attack, which is kind of like the Frozen Dragon attack we saw earlier. Just look at this, bro. Straight beautiful. Honestly, the ice fruit is pretty fairly accurate to the anime. I mean, not all the moves are that similar. We don't see any ice skating. Cold Storm wasn't used. But other than that, Glacial Surge, Frozen Dragon, Absolute Zero, pretty good. Which in my opinion puts the ice fruit in the middle of accurate here. But what about the sand fruit, ladies and gentlemen? With this fruit, we have a lot of long range abilities, such as Desert Blade. We even got Sand Coffin, which actually stuns your enemy in a coffin of sand and explodes. Sandstorm, where you summon a tornado of sand. Tornado Flight, you literally just start flying. And of course, we got Deep Sand. You throw out a little ball of sand, which explodes and has a big AoE. Very fire fruit in the game, and it's even more fire in the anime, because it is used by none other than Crocodile. And as you can see right there, that was the first ability we just saw in Blox fruit. So far, it's pretty accurate. And of course, we got Sable's the Sand Tornado. Last but not least, Sable's Pesado. Look at that. Just like in Blox fruits. So honestly, if you ask me, Blox fruits did a real good job of making it close to the anime, which means this may get revamped sometime soon. Because today, I'm gonna put the sand fruit in very accurate tier, man. They made that close. But next up, we have the Yonko Darkbeard's fruit, the Dark Fruit. Darkness fruit, whatever you want to call it. This fruit's actually very good in the game, primarily being good for PvP rather than grinding, and we have different abilities such as Dark Rocks, a long-range rock attack, or dark attack, Abyssal Darkness, where you suck the enemy in, pause, and then kind of explode. Endless Hole, you do a little black hole at the bottom that slows them. Ghastly Step, you teleport for some reason, I don't know why that's there. But last but not least, we have World of Darkness, a dark spirit bomb, which you can throw down and explode. Now for the anime, I just want to say this man, Darkbeard, is a straight menace. Like, you do not want to mess around with this guy. But as for accuracy to Blox fruits, we can see that was World of Darkness right there pretty much. This could kind of be considered like the black hole ability. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, black hole. And we even got the ability where he just pulls Ace in. Like, Ace isn't even close right now, and he just sucks that boy in. Pause once again. Overall, Blox fruits' Dark is actually very accurate to the anime, although I don't know where they got Ghastly Step from. That man never did that. Hey, I'm actually gonna put the Dark fruit in copyright tier. That's scarily accurate. Might be time to rework a Blox fruits the way you guys have been avoiding copyright. Speaking about avoiding copyright, we actually have one of the most recently reworked fruits in the game, the Eagle fruit. This fruit obviously gives you the powers of an eagle, and we have multiple different things from M1s that you can hold and use that explode feathers, Wind Burst, Feather Storm, which is a barrage, Bone Crusher, and Soaring Talon. Basically the same thing, you just lunge forward and explode them. Now in the anime, this fruit's actually called Falcon, and it's used by a guy named Pell. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not very accurate. Like, we can see he's transformed into an eagle right now, or a falcon, but the actual abilities he uses throughout the anime are not at all close to what we have at the Eagle fruit. With the only move being maybe close to Blox fruits is what he does right here. He kind of uses like a Wind Burst with feather attacks, and that's literally the only attack we ever really saw him use in One Piece. Which means the reworked Eagle fruit has to go straight in the no similarities tier list. Which means this rework did justice if they were trying to avoid copyright, because now it doesn't even look like it at all. And now we have the last of the uncommon fruits, Diamond.
Diamonds are interesting because we have a transformation, which you guys can see kind of turns us into like the Ben 10 diamond form, but this also doubles down as a move instead of just a transformation. We use it and it explodes. We also have an M1. Next up, we have Shard Storm, which is a long range kind of diamond attack. Shimmering Disruption, a close range attack that stuns and blinds the enemies, and Prismatic Reflection, which kind of reminds me of like Haku's ability from Naruto. It's just a bunch of mirrors reflecting an attack. Honestly, pretty OP. Now in the anime, this fruit is used by a guy named Jozu. They call him Diamond Jozu. That's his nickname. Get it? Because he has the diamond fruit. Anyways, he doesn't really get much screen time during the entire anime other than Marineford arc. But you guys can see right here, this is kind of like the encrust ability. So this is him activating the fruit. But the actual abilities he uses, I don't remember them being close to what we have in Blox fruits. So sadly, we don't see him do none of this or this. But technically, we do see him do this. Which I guess there's some similarity because of the encrust and then the M1 punch. We could justify putting this in not even close tier because there is a little bit of similarities, but not much. Moving on to fruit number 14, we have the light fruit. Yes, sir. One of the Marine Admiral's fruits. Now for this test, we're actually going to go ahead and go with the unawakened version of light. And you guys will see why in a second. The first thing you'll notice is we do have a little light spear that we use to attack, similar to ice. But for our abilities, most of them are just light based. Like we have light ray, barrage of light. You kind of shoot up to the air and shoot a bunch of barrages. Reflection kick. We have light flight. And last but not least, sky beam barrage. Now in the anime, this is used by Admiral Kizaru from One Piece. And we can see right here, he does the light kick. So that's one move he's got down. We even got the light sword right here. That's 2 for 2. We got the light flight right here. And we even got the little light barrage he does here. Making this literally 5 for 5 from the anime and Blox fruits. It's no wonder they changed it from the Awakening because this is scarily close. It's gonna go straight in copyright tier, boys. I'm not gonna lie. Can't go anywhere else. It's main character time, ladies and gentlemen. We got the rubber fruit next. And you know they're gonna cook for this. Now in this fruit, we have multiple abilities that also change when you transform in Gear 2, which we're gonna wait for that to go off cooldown so we can test it out. But for now, we have M1 right here, which is like Gum Gum Pistol. We have Cannon, which is, I guess, Bazooka. We have Smash, which is Battle Axe, I think. And of course, we got the infamous Gum Gum Gatling. Like I said earlier, once you transform, it just basically enhances all those abilities. We have Jet Pistol now, we have Cannon, Jet Cannon, or Jet Bazooka, that one right there, and of course, a better slingshot. Needless to say, it's super accurate to the anime. We can literally see him doing the Gear 2 pose right now. And throughout this entire fight against Blue and O, we can see Jet Pistol right there, which is the M1 from Blox Roots. We can see the move where it teleports above, slams down right here, and we get Slingshot. And of course, we get Jet Gatling, man. Such a crazy moment right here. Needless to say, Blox Roots Gear 2 is very accurate to the anime. In fact, it's 100% accuracy. Rubber fruit goes in copyright tier. But moving on from rubber, we've got the ghost fruit next. Second to last rare. Now this fruit just got completely revamped almost 2 years ago now, and the abilities look honestly a lot different than they used to. First off, we got Shivering the Possession. Next up, we have Wandering Soul, where you're kind of just flying. We got Spectral Release, Prizes Down the World, and then we got Ghostbusters. You summon 3 clones of yourself, which do the exact same attacks as you do, except they're very weak. Now in the anime, the ghost fruit is used by none other than Brook. But I'm not gonna lie, Brook does not use his devil fruit that much. Most of the time he fights with his Soul King. And honestly, when I think about it, there's not really any abilities Brook uses that are similar to the moveset we have with Ghost. So sadly, Ghost fruit has to go in no similarities tier. One more rare left, and that is Magma fruit. We're gonna showcase this one very quickly because you guys are gonna see we won't even need to show most of the moves. First off, we got Magma Shower, literal fist of barrage of magma fists. Great Magma Hound. We have Beast Ride, which you literally start riding one of the magma fists. And Volcanic Storm, a massive magma fist that explodes into a bunch of other mini magma fists. And when you compare it to the anime counterpart, you can really see that in terms of accuracy, it's pretty down packed. Look, this is Akainu, the user of magma. He's super deadly in the anime, and literally this is what he does. He literally just throws out big magma fists or magma based attacks. It is 100% accurate to the anime as it should be. Magma should really be no other way. So for that, it's gonna go straight in copyright tier. And that marks the last fruit of the rares. We only have 2 more tiers left, legendary and mythic. And it's fitting that we just got done with the Kainu because now we're gonna have to move up to Whitebeard. We're moving on to the Quake fruit. Quake's got some very simple abilities. Fatal Demolisher, you pull someone in and knock them away. We got Air Crusher, you literally just throw a big wave of Quake, Spatial Shock Wave, and then now we have what Quake is known most for. It's literal specialty and flagship move, Sea Quake. You summon literal waves from the sea by how much you quake the earth. Let's be honest, you guys all know who Whitebeard is, even if you're not a One Piece fan. We can see that this is fairly accurate. He's doing the Sea Quake right here, literally punching the air and then summoning great tidal waves, which gets frozen by Kuza.
But that's beside the point. Every move we see him do in the anime is exactly what we see in Blox Fruits. He literally pulls this guy in and slams his face in, just like Fatal Demolisher. And we even got the Air Crusher right now, where he just throws out a wave of just shock and quake. Let's just say Blox Fruits understood the assignment when it came to the Quake Fruit. That's all I have to say on that one. 2 in a row. Dang, I feel like I'm giving out a lot of copyright tiers, but they did Quake justice, bro. Let's go with a copyright tier. Will this continue, though? Next up, we have the Buddha Fruit. We all know what the Buddha Fruit's known for. This right here. The transformation that turns you into a Buddha. Nobody really even uses all the abilities for this. I mean, we have like ability called Heavenly Impact, Light of Annihilation, which is actually surprisingly long range attack, Retribution Dash, where you kind of grab people, and of course, Twilight of the Gods. Honestly, looks very fire in the game. It's also one of the most used fruits. However, that is not the case for the anime, because we literally only see it used once, and all Sengoku does, which is the user of Buddha, is just transform into the Buddha. And then he does like the Heavenly Impact, maybe, like he kind of just like punches the ground, which is kind of similar to this, but I'm gonna be honest, literally he didn't do any of these other abilities. Like Light of Annihilation, Twilight of the Gods, Retribution Dash, he didn't do none of those. So Buddha, man, you're gonna go straight into just accuracy. We got the Love Fruit next. Ooh, the next legendary. This one's actually interesting. This got reworked like 2 years ago, and the abilities are way different than they used to be. First off, we have Heart Shot, a long-range heart bow shot. Cupid Zone, shoot out a nice arrow that has an AoE, irresistible attraction. Anyone that's in the circle gets brought closer to you. Flamingo Ride, you literally just summon a flamingo out of nowhere. Like what is this, Naruto summoning jutsu? And then Besto Friendo. Similar to Ghost, you summon a little NPC that fights for you. Now, Boa Hancock, which is the user of the Love Fruit, the anime primarily uses long-range attacks that turn people into stone if you're attracted to it, which is not at all similar to how it works in Blox Fruits. The only ability I guess you could say is kind of similar is this Pistol Kiss one. It's a long-range, just like kind of like love shot, which I guess is kind of similar to Heart Shot. Not really, because this one kind of explodes. I don't know, bro. I'm trying to see what the similarities are. It's not close. So unfortunately, Love Fruit is gonna go in not even close to you. Ooh, next up we got the Creation Fruit. This just got reworked in the game. Used to be the Barrier Fruit, which is actually really accurate to One Piece, which is why they reworked it. How accurate is it now? First off, we have an M1, which is kind of like Barrier Wall. You summon a little wall that blocks attacks, actually. And then after that, we have Batter Up, which you literally shoot yourself out of a cannonball. We have Sleight of Hand, which summons a hand that grabs people. Sword Box summons a box of... I don't even know what that is. It's kind of like Kuro Hisugi from Bleach. And last but not least, we got Magic City, which summons a bunch of barrier towers. And then we got Fortifier, which you literally just start building stairs. Which when compared to the anime, which is used by Bartolomeo, it's not similar at all. Now, while yes, Bartolomeo does have some similarities to the Creation Fruit, being this barrier wall right here, which is kind of similar to the M1. And he also does possess the ability to create stairs out of thin air, but that is where all the similarities end. None of the other abilities he uses throughout the anime are in Blox Fruits. We gotta put it in not even close tier, but I will put it at the top just because of the walls and stairs. Next up, we have the Spider Fruit. Now with this one, we get a good range of abilities like Thermal Laceration, Silk Prison, Overheated Sniper, which is a long range attack, Spider Highway, where we kind of just use webs to fly around like I'm Spider-Man or something. And of course, we get Heavenly Punishment. And as for the anime counterpart, if it's accurate or not, well, you guys can see for the first ability, he is doing the spider flight, except the strings are kind of invisible, but it's there. We also have the long range snipe, which is Overheat. And I must say, this ability is crazy. Look, he literally just sniped like hundreds of miles away from him at a city. Of course, we got Spider Web 2, which is the web-like ability we saw earlier. And of course, we got the God Thread ability, which is the ultimate of Spider, which looks very similar to what we saw in Blox Fruits. Look at this, exactly the same, making Spider in the very accurate tier. I'm actually gonna put it at the top of all these. Must say, the Blox Fruits team, they cook with Spider. Although it may be time for a rework coming up soon. Who knows? Hopefully we can get one. Next up, we got the Sound Fruit in Blox Fruits. And this one's actually an interesting one. Now, if we look at the abilities of the Sound Fruit, we can see it's music-based. And we even have something called a tempo meter, which the more we use our moves and attacks that hit, we get actually a boost. You guys can see, once we use Tempo Prestissimo, the meter goes up. And once it gets full, it turns yellow, and we get a nice little sound boost, which makes us faster and deal more damage. We have a nice range of abilities, like Symphonic Radiance, a Disco Ball that shoots and hits anybody in the nearby area, and Glorious Harmony, a big AoE, which looks really nice. Now, the interesting thing about this fruit is it's not based on any power in One Piece. If we look through the wiki of the Sound Fruit, specifically on the trivia part, we can see right here it says Sound Fruit is the first fan-made fruit to be added to the game. And it was a concept created by a guy named Aqua 4G. Now, some people have speculated that this fruit is actually based off of Yuta's fruit from the film Red movie of One Piece, but the Blox Fruits devs themselves claim this is not true. And to be honest, when you look at her ability and how it's used in the anime, it really is not similar to what it is in Blox Fruits. So yeah, sound fruit is gonna go in the no similarities tier. And with sound fruit out the way, we move on to the phoenix fruit. Now just to make this quick, we're gonna go ahead and go in our final transformation state because this is what people care most about the phoenix. And look at the abilities. First off, we have an M1, which launches you forward in attacks. We have cremation cannon, which is a bunch of flames, 3 to be exact. We have swift flight, which is a nice flight that dashes you forward. Regeneration flames, and of course we got flaming exodus, which you grab forward someone, but when you grab them, you shoot up, then slam down. In the anime, of course, the main user of Phoenix is Marco, and there's 2 ways he uses this fruit. As you guys can see right now, he is in the hybrid form where he just has the wings and he still has his physical body, which is similar to Blox fruits because if you untransform and use swift flight, you guys can see we can be in that same state. We can see he's using the full transformation right here, so that's 100% accurate. And on top of that, look at how it looks. Very similar to how the Blox fruits 1 look. This right here could be considered swift flight, I guess. And we even see right here he uses the fireball, except it's not 3, it's only 1. So we technically never seen him to use it that way in the anime. I don't know where Blox fruits got flame exodus from. He didn't do anything similar to that in the anime. And cremation cannon he did use, but not in this way. I'm not going to take too much points away. We're going to put it in very accurate tier. But that's about the end because up next we got the portal fruit. This used to be the door fruit and it got revamped to the portal fruit because of that exact reason. They were trying to avoid copyright. But how close is it to the anime now? So we can see this still has kind of some of its like door-like capabilities. For example, world warp, you can teleport to any area and it works similarly to the door fruit, but that's where all the similarities end. Portal dash is nothing like what the door fruit had used for. Same with quantum leap. Parallel escape is because you kind of go in your own pocket dimension, but let me say this last ability is definitely far from anything we saw from the door fruit. Yeah, not even close. Now the door fruit is used by CP agent Blue Note. You guys can see right there in the background there's kind of like a physical door, which is what I meant. It's the C ability on Portal. He can teleport to different places and even go in his own little pocket dimension. But the way it's used in One Piece is not similar to how it is in Blox fruits, other than that one teleport ability. We can see here though he's in the pocket dimension, which is kind of like Portal X in Blox fruits, but other than that we don't really see him use his devil fruit all too much, as he mainly relies on his Rokushiki abilities. So to be honest, only 2 abilities that are done completely different between both of the fruits. I gotta put this in the not even close tier, I'm not gonna lie. Let me know if y'all disagree or agree with that in the comments below. But we're moving on to one of the 3rd last legendaries of the game, the Rumble fruit. Now this one we have multiple different abilities like Lightning Beast, which is a long range lightning beast attack. Thunderstorm, where you just rain down a bunch of thunder that stuns enemies. Has pretty good AoE too. We got Electric Flash, which allows us to teleport a short period 3 times, and it has a charge capability, so it recharges after some time. Sky Judgment, you shoot down a pillar of lightning, which does a massive amount of stun and good damage. And last but not least, my favorite ability, Thunderball Destruction, a lightning spirit bomb, which explodes and looks very nice. But as for the anime, we can honestly see it's fairly accurate. We can see Sky Judgment done right there, which is one of many abilities that Enel does in the anime. I guess we could say this ability here is kind of similar to Lightning Beast, but not really. We don't really see him use Lightning Beast in the anime. Obviously, he does Raigo, which is the Thunderball Destruction here. And we also have him do this cool little transformation. He calls it Amaru. Why did we get that in Blox fruits? Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not that accurate. We don't see him do anything similar to Lightning Beast, unless we're kind of that team is Lightning Beast. We don't see him do anything like Thunderstorm, and we definitely don't see him do anything like Electric Flash. So really, the only 2 abilities we see him do is Sky Judgment and Thunderball Destruction. That said, I'm still gonna give the Rumble fruit accurate tier because they still got the general gist of what Enel did. They just changed it up a little bit. Pain fruit next. First up, we have Heavy Pain, which summons a paw ability that goes through enemies. We have Paw Barrage. We have Pain Nuke, which just summons a big paw and explodes. Self-Repel, which is a teleport ability, which allows you just teleport forward. And we have Torture, which summons a pink paw that does damage over time to an enemy. Kind of like poison damage. Just look at this, bro. First off, we have the teleport right there. We have the little paw, like the shooting paw right there. We got Paw Barrage, which literally looks 1-to-1 the same. We got Paw Nuke right here. Literally same animation, same looks, and even the way the move functions is exactly the same in the anime. Look at this. He throws it out and it explodes. And yes, even the pink paw. 100% of the moves are accurate to the anime, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of crazy. This is gonna go straight to the top of copyright tier because there's nothing they need to add. They've got it down 100%. And now we get to the last of the legendary fruits, which is the Blizzard fruit. This fruit is kind of similar to Ice, except it focuses less on trying to freeze people and more on just bombarding people with big effects. Look at this. Snowflake Shuriken, Whiteout, you summon a tornado of Blizzard. Howling Wind, same thing, except it's more in one place instead of moving. We have Tornado Flight, which is the same thing. Yeah, 3 moves that literally look look the same. And then we have Blizzard Domain, which is basically the same thing, except just massive. Like, look at that. In the anime, it's not called Blizzard, but it's called Yuki Yuki no Mi, and it's used by Monet. And we can see this is kind of Blizzard Domain. It looks fairly similar, but that's where all the similarities kind of disperse. Because literally every other ability she uses is not like what we see in Blox Fruits at all. Like, look at this. She's grabbing them with the snow. She's doing like claw attacks. She's kind of like a harpy too. She has even like a little snow after image or snow clone, shadow clone. Blizzard is going straight in the not even close tier, which marks the last legendary, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done. We got 13 more fruits to go, and the rest of them are all mythicals. And it starts with the most recently reworked fruit in the game, Gravity. Now, as you guys may guess, they reworked this fruit for one reason and one reason only, to avoid copyrights. However, is it still similar? Let's find out. First off, we have Singularity, which kind of uses a black hole to suck at enemies and blast them away. We got Orbital Chain, which you summon a little turret and it shoots little gravity particles at the enemy. We got Shooting Star, which summons down a meteor from the sky, and then you kind of ride on it. You can also double down as a meteor attacking ability. You don't have to fly on the meteor. You can just use it as an attack. We got Gravitational Prison, which summons a black hole that sucks up anything and explodes. And last but not least, we got Asteroid Crash, which summons literally the most massive meteor ever, just explodes. Is it still similar to the anime though? Well, the user of it is named Fujitora in the anime, and it's pretty much the same thing. He has the ability to move things or manipulate things due to his gravity. And what he's doing right here is destroying an entire city and making the city basically become a big like meteor, almost his own makeshift meteor, which I would say is still accurate to Blox Fruits, because if you get this gravitational force meter up in full, you guys will see we can do that same ability. I hold it, and now it does the exact same thing which Fujitora did. We summon a planetary devastation, just like he did. We also see this ability right here where he kind of just summons like forces of gravity on the ground, which once again you can also do in Blox Fruits. Look at this, the M1, you can do exactly that. And the last thing that's similar is he has the ability to summon a meteor from the sky. So honestly, it's still pretty similar to Blox Fruits, except we just don't see him do this, or this. And we definitely don't see him ride on a meteor like this. That said, the core is still there, so it's gonna go in the middle of accuracy here. Next mythical, Mammoth. And for this one, we're actually going to use the anime clip first. Now, in One Piece, the user of the mammoth fruit is Jack, and we can see the transformation right here. Only issue, we never really see him actually use this form for attacking often. So yeah, really the only thing we see him do is just this, which is transformation. So in Blox Fruits, all of these other abilities we have, like Ancient Cutter, True Prehistoric Punt, Colossal Crusher, or even Stampede. We don't get to see any of those in One Piece, which if you ask me, makes Mammoth not even close to you. But what about the T-Rex fruit? Now in Blox Fruits, the main thing we have for T-Rex is the transformation. And we also do get a different abilities like M1s, Tail Swipe, we got a nice gigantic leap, Predatory Screech, and of course, last but not least, Hunter's Rage. You grab the enemy with your teeth and slam them down. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In One Piece, the T-Rex fruit is technically not in the anime, but the closest thing is what you see here, which is actually an Allosaurus, not a T-Rex, and it's used by X Drake. And as for abilities, the only real move we see him use in the anime is this one right here, which is kind of similar to Hunter's Rage, where you kind of like grab them and slam them down. Other than that, though, literally none of these other abilities were shown in the anime. So T-Rex, just like Mammoth, is gonna go not even close here. Next up, we got the Dough fruit. Now, Dough actually has a ton of different abilities, so we're just gonna zoom through it. First off, we got Missile Jab, which is a nice like fist of dough that explodes, which if we look at the anime, he kind of does exactly that. We also got Scorching Donut and Piercing Clothesline, which you guys can see. Swings them around town, slams them up. Katakuri does both of these things in the anime, literally the Swinging Donut, and we have the Chestnut, or not Chestnut, I forgot what it is even called. Piercing Clothesline, Buzz Cut, that's what it's called. And last but not least, we got Dough Fist Fusillade, ladies and gentlemen, which Katakuri very clearly does right here. I mean, this is basically the same thing. The only thing we don't really see Katakuri use is either forms of Pastry River. Like, we don't really see him use this, I don't think. But overall, Dough, it's gotta go in very accurate here. Next up, Shadow, and we're gonna zoom through this one, and you guys will see why. Now, with the Shadow fruit, we have a bunch of unique abilities, like Umbrage, where you kind of go in the air, and kind of like Smoke Bomber from earlier. Somber Rebellion, you kind of shoot forward and attack the enemy with a barrage. Shade Nest, a long-range ability, which hits the enemy. Nightmare Leech, you kind of suck up the enemy and take their health. Last but not least, we have Corvus Torment. You kind of explode yourself and keeps the enemy stunned in there for very long. Shadow, however, in Blox Fruits is not at all how it works in One Piece. Gecko Moria, who is the user of the Shadow fruit in One Piece, his primary ability is to steal shadows away from people and create zombies using their shadows. And he also has a bunch of other different abilities, but none of what we see in Blox Fruits is actually portrayed in the anime. So yeah, this is gonna go in the no similarities tier. It's not even close at all. But maybe the venom fruit will be. Now we're just gonna go ahead and go in the transformation state. This is what the venom transformation looks like. And we get a bunch of different abilities like poison daggers, noxic fog, basically the same thing except does more damage. Toxic fog, which is a massive AoE of smoke. And last but not least, serpent's wrath. And now for the anime. One of the abilities you guys can see Magellan, which is the user of Venom, uses is Venom Hydra. Summons 3 little Venom dragons, which is actually kind of like Serpent's Wrath, or if you really want to be super specific, Noxus Shot. We also have Crollo Ball, which is kind of like Poison Daggers. Venom Road, which is literally the Venom Flight ability I just used. We even got Poison Gas, which is exactly what I use here, Toxic Fog. And of course, we can't forget the Transformation Demon. This is the transform state in the anime. And while it may look a lot different in One Piece, I will say overall the premise is there. Venom is going to go in very accurate T. Now we're on to the control fruit, and this is going to be interesting. Now with this, we get first ability, which is Room. You summon a room. Actually, wait, I don't even know why I used this ability in here. There we go. You guys can see the entire room I've summoned, and we can only use our abilities in this room. This is the unique passive of this fruit. So you guys can see I get Levitate. I can summon a rock out of any material in the game. We also get a teleport. I can teleport into any area in the room, and I get 2 extra abilities like Gamma Rush and Echo Knife, which only works if I have a target to hit. But yeah, those abilities are pretty decent. And obviously in One Piece, the user of the control fruit is Law. We can see he did the room ability right there, and that is kind of like the Levitate ability where we summon the rocks, except he just used it on a human. We can also see he does this ability right here where he actually teleports a thing instead of himself, so it works in both ways. Basically everything we've seen in Blox fruits was done in the anime. That said, control is going to go in the very accurate tier. Now with the gas, we have a lot of interesting abilities like Suffocating Fume, which you kind of lunge forward and hit the enemy with some gas. Bursting Vapor, similar thing, you hit him with like a bunch of gas abilities. Traveling Gas, you kind of fly. And then we have Smog Demons. You summon a bunch of little demons and they explode on impact. Another thing you'll notice is we have this gas meter, and when it gets full, we'll be able to transform into this little gas giant. Our abilities change a little bit, but for the most part, most of them are similar. Now Suffocating Fume is a long range attack, and we have Bursting Vapor, which is a nice little gas swipe. We still get Smog Demons, it's the same, it just like summons more. And the last thing that changes is Traveling Gas is now an attack. You stab an enemy and launch them back. This, however, is not similar at all to how Caesar Clown uses gas in One Piece. He focuses on primarily like invisible type moves and some longer range type moves like Gas Robe right here, which we don't see in Blox fruits. He even has this ability to summon little goops of poison gas, which I guess is kind of similar to Smog Demons, but not really, let's be real. The only real thing we could say is like super similar to Blox fruits is Caesar Clown does do this kind of like transform gas state like this, which is a similar premise to what we see here, but it's just not executed at all the same. So yeah, there's just no similarities. I'm gonna put it in not even close tier. And with that, we move on to the Spirit Fruit. We actually get a bunch of unique powers with this one, such as the ability to summon little homies like this. We just summoned a little tree, and we can also summon a nice other tree. Oh wait, this is a mushroom. This is the tree. And I think there's a frog one, but it just spawned a mushroom. You guys get the point. Now our actual abilities, you guys can see we have a Fire Devil on this side and an Ice Devil on this side. And some of our abilities correlate with that. Frostfire Grass, we summon the Ice ability and come out and freeze. Wrath of Ra, we shoot the Fire ability and it does a nice fire attack. Sky Ruler, we ride on one of them and we basically just fly. Wrath of Shu, the Ice one once again. End of Times, we combine both of them into a nice beamed attack. Which when we compare her abilities to the anime, it's kind of similar. You can see here Big Mom using the ability to summon life and just create homies. Like she turns this umbrella to just a monster. We can also see Big Mom riding on Prometheus Cloud right here, which I mean doesn't look exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. And the last thing we kind of see Big Mom use that's similar to Blox fruits is where she combines all of her souls right here into one just like combined beam. She calls it Macer Cannon. Overall, Blox fruits did a pretty good job of making it similar to One Piece. I'm gonna put this in the accurate tier. It's gonna go towards the top too. Now with the Leopard Fruit, we have a bunch of different abilities. One of them being Finger Revolver, a barrage of just like Rokushiki attacks, which we see very clearly being done right here. He uses that against Luffy. Up next, we got Body Flicker, which is kind of like a teleport, and then After Image Assault, kind of like the same thing, I guess, which we can see Rob Lucci doing something kind of like that right here. It's called Soru. Next up, we got Spiraling Kick, which is a nice long range attack, which explodes at the end, which looks exactly like this. It's called Tempest Kick in the anime. Only difference is this one glows blue. And of course, we got the hybrid leopard form in One Piece. This is Rob Lucci's most infamous form that he used to fight off against Luffy, which we see is very accurately done in Blox fruits. What more is there to say, man? Leopard Fruit has got to go in straight copyright tier. And next up, we get to the Yeti Fruit in Blox fruits, which is interesting because this fruit literally was completely fan-made. Even earlier with the Sound Fruit, you could argue that this was inspired from Yuta's fruit, and I think it was in some way. But the Yeti Fruit, it's not inspired by nothing. So So yeah, this thing right here, completely made by Blox fruits. So it's got to go in no similarities, of course. Second to last fruit in the game, we have Kitsune, which is another interesting fruit because just like Yeti, this is completely fan-made. All these abilities you see right here, Accursed Enchantment, Tales of Burning Agony, Foxfire Disruption, even Wild Assault, completely fan-made and is not based off of One Piece. All but one thing. Kitsune has a Tails mechanic, as you can see right here. And once you get to full Tails, you're able to transform into this. This is the transformed Kitsune form, which a ton of fans of One Piece have speculated is similar to the transformation state of Yamato. This is what it looks like right here, but watch when she's running. Specifically right here, this hybrid form that she uses, or I think this is the full form, there's a little bit of similarity there, but I don't think it's similar enough to say that this was referenced from that. So Kitsune has to go in no similarities tier, which leaves one fruit left, the dragon. And for this one, we're actually going to showcase Dragon East. Full transformation ready, let's get into it. Now with Dragon East, once you transform, we have a nice little snake-like looking or eel-like looking dragon, which we can see Kaido does in the anime, and honestly this looks pretty similar to what we see on Blox fruits. And first off, we have this little fire breath ability. We shoot fire from our mouth, which Kaido does right here. We also get this ability called Heat Wave Cannon. It's kind of similar, it's just more of a beam, fire beam. Kaido very clearly does that here. Now this next ability, which is Infernal Pincer, is one of them that you could technically say isn't from the anime, but we'll see in a sec. When Kaido does it in the anime, it's called Tatsumaki Kaifu. He kind of just like starts spinning around, which is what you see here. Honestly, if you ask me, this is accurate. And other than that, the only two abilities Kaido didn't really do is Draconic Soar and this move right here, Scorching Downfall. Which honestly, if you ask me, even though these two abilities weren't in the anime, this is still honestly pretty close. So the last fruit dragon is gonna go in the very accurate tier. And that is all 41 fruits in the game ranked based off the anime. Now I already know there's gonna be a lot of people referencing that a ton of the Blox fruits abilities actually came from that One Piece game. I forget what it was called, like Pirate Warriors, but I mainly just wanted to compare it to the anime. This here is level 1, and we're gonna have 3 different levels throughout the video that we're gonna test distances on. First off, we have rockets. Let's see, does Missile Fist land? Nope, it doesn't even land halfway. What about Air Strike? Even less. Okay, last hope, we have Rocket Crash. Let's see if this one lands, and oh, that one actually landed. So Rocket gets the move up. I actually didn't even expect that. Rocket Crash goes a lot further than I thought it would. Next up, I got the Spin Fruit. This one I have a feeling isn't gonna be much. Let's go ahead and test it out. Razor Wind. Yeah, that is not hitting. Tornado Assault. Does that reach? Nope, not even close. Last ability we could get is Air Slasher. Let me go ahead and hold that. Let's see if that hits. Air Slasher. Oh, that hits. Okay, so spin moves up. But what about the Blade Fruit? First ability, we have Razor Cyclone. Let's go to C. Oh, that didn't even reach half of the square. Next up, Blade Dance. And this wasn't even close. All right, what about Saw Shredder? This has got to hit, right? No, that was even less. Wow, so we have our first fruit that wasn't able to pass, which means that Blade is gonna go straight in Dookie tier. Yeah, you got no range on this, really. But maybe Spring will be different. I think the longest range ability on Spring is Spring Snipe, so let's go ahead and see. Does this hit? And oh, we get right about halfway. And every other ability I think is way less, like Knock. Yeah, no range with that. Spring Cannon, you ain't even moving. And last but not least, we have Spring Emperor. Oh, that one almost hit, but it pushed me back. Okay, hold on. Let's test it out one more time. Spring Emperor, come on. Yeah, that's just not hitting. So Spring is going straight in Dookie tier as well. Moving up to Bomb, though. This comment I have hope for. First move, we have Targeted Bomb. This is actually a long range one. It looks like it's right on her. Hold on, hold on. This may hit. This may hit. Oh, that fully hit. That fully hits. So Bomb moves on. There's no point to test any of the other abilities because, well, I think Targeted Bomb is actually the longest range one to hit. Next up, we got one of my favorite commons, Smoke Fruit. And the longest range ability on this is Smoke Blast, I believe. So let's go ahead and aim that. Let's see if it hits. And it does. Perfect. Wow, a lot of these commons are moving on. I didn't expect that. Lots of common fruits. We got Spike. Let's see. Will Spike Summon hit? And it does. Okay, so it actually moves on. Let's see. Does Spiky Ball hit, or is Spike Summon the only move that will hit? Oh, Spiky Ball hits too. And what about Spike Barrage? Does that hit? No. Okay, so the longest range abilities are Spike Summon and Spiky Ball. We'll keep that in mind for later. But Spike does move on. And that right there marks the last of the common fruits. Over like 80% of them made it, so that's pretty surprising. But next up, we're moving on to uncommon, starting with Flame. First off, we got Blue Fire Bullets. Let's see, does this hit? And that does, which is crazy because that's not even the longest range ability. For example, Prominence Burst also hits easily and goes past the finish line. Easy dub for Flame. But what about the Ice Fruit? Will this one actually work? First off, Cold Storm. Let's see if that hits. Okay, that's traveling really slow. It barely went in front of me. Okay, what about Glacial Surge? It hit about 60% of the way there, but not enough. Ice Bird's our last hope with Ice, and it actually does not hit. Okay, you know what? Before I disqualify Ice, we actually have to test out something. Right now, Ice Bird is unawakened. However, if I go over here and awaken it, will that one hit? The moment of truth. Does Ice hit this or does it get disqualified? And it hits it easily. Wow. Okay, so Ice moves on. Next up, we got Sand. Longest range ability is Desert Blade. And easily. Sand passes as well. Now we're moving on to the Dark Fruit. I'm actually about to do something interesting for this one. To give Dark the best advantage, we're actually going to unawaken its Z ability because the unawakened Z has way more range than the awakened Z. And here we go. Dark rocks. Let's test it out. Does Dark move on or does it get eliminated? And ooh, that actually passed it with flying colors, and one of them went even further down. So Dark's got some range in it. But does the new Eagle Fruit got some range in it? This just got completely reworked, so I'm actually curious to find this one out. So let's go ahead and eat that. And here we go. First off, we have an M1 with it. Can this reach? Let me charge that fully. Oh, the M1 alone reaches. That's actually kind of crazy. Okay, let's see if any of the other abilities hit though. Wind Burst. Let me charge this fully. Okay, Wind Burst barely goes in front of you, so that's a mid-range move. What about Feather Storm? This is a barrage. Okay, that definitely does not hit. What about Bone Crusher? And no, but it gets about 60% of the way there. Just shy of being able to hit. Last but not least, we have Soaring Talon. If Soaring Talon can't last, I don't think Eagle's gonna make it past the second round. And Eagle does not have much range, but it just barely passes for now. Next up, we got Diamond. First off, let's test off the M1. Charging the full M1. Does this hit? And oh, we get like 70% of the way there, but it just doesn't make it. All right, what about Encrust? Yeah, that's just not straight up hitting. Okay, what about Shard Storm? Oh, is it hitting? No, it just barely does not hit. Shimmery Disruption? All right, last but not least, last ditch effort, Prismatic Reflection. Does this hit? No, this does not hit. Okay, so Diamond is going straight in the Dookie tier. Couldn't even make it past stage 1. Now, we already know the answer to this one, man. Like we legit know this is hitting. The Light Fruit, I guarantee you the first ability alone, Divine Arrow, this is hitting. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. And it went way further past. Easy pass for Light. The Rubber Fruit, I think we all know the result of this one. Let me go ahead and activate Gear 2. And I'm pretty sure the M1 might be able to hit from here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the M1's not hitting. I'm just straight yapping. All right, let's go ahead and use the Slingshot. This is one of the longest range moves in the game, I'm pretty sure. So this, yeah, that 100% hits. That 100%. This just straight up passes. I'm actually curious about this. I've never tested the Ghost Fruit range, so I don't know if this will pass. All right, first off, we have Shivering Possession. Oh, that almost hits, but just barely doesn't. Okay, Spectral Release. Yeah, that's not hitting. That's not reaching. What about this? Yeah, that's not hitting either. What about our Ghostbusters? Now, if our Ghostbusters can track this person from here and attack her, that'll count. But it does not look like they even detect her at all. Yeah, Ghost has got no range. Straight in the Dookie tier, man. All right, we're testing out Magma next. This one should easily pass. Magma Showers. Yeah, that easily passes, and I aimed that completely wrong. So this passes with flying colors. But will the Quake Fruit pass? We just finished the rare category, and now we're moving up to the first legendary. I'm actually curious to see if this will even hit. First off, we have Air Crusher. Let's see if this hits. And it does right off the bat. Okay, so we don't even need to test out these other abilities. We'll save those for later. Buddha Fruit next. Interesting. Now with Buddha Fruit, there's a few abilities we could test, and the first one being Buddha Leap. I'm gonna awaken this later if this doesn't hit, but let's just see if it does. Buddha Leap. Oh yeah, that hits 100%. That hits 100%. Up next, we have the Love Fruit, the old infinite attacking range ability. First off, let's test out Heart Shot. Let's see if that hits from here. And that does. And needless to say, love passes with flying colors. But Will Creation, another one of the fruits that just got reworked this update. Barrier had literal absolute dookie range. Does it get better with Creation? First off, let's see the M1. Does this hit? No, the M1 looks like it can go maximum this distance. Okay, what about Batter Up? Let me see. Let me charge that fully. I think depending on how long we charge it, it could go further range. Let's see. No, that's not even close. Okay, what about Sleight of Hand? Maybe this will go far range? Nope. Sword Box? Hopefully this goes far range. Oh, that one hit. Easy work. Okay, you know what? Just to test this out too, let's go ahead and do Magic City. Oh yeah, that hit easy. We got a lot of range with Magic City. Okay, so Creation does pass. We got more range than last update. Now the Spider Fruit. Let's see. Thermal Laceration. That does not hit. Silk Prison. That just barely doesn't hit. Okay, what about Eternal White? Okay, that hits. That hits. So we move, and now we're moving on to Sound Fruit. I don't actually think Sound has anything that can hit this. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Rhapsody Notes. That almost hits. Okay, what about Fortissimo? No, not even close. Symphonic Radiance. Okay. Oh, that hits. Okay, that's actually interesting. That's actually really interesting. And I'm pretty sure Glorious Harmony would hit as well. Wow, I didn't expect that. Sound, you surprised me. Let's see if this stands true for Phoenix. We have Cremation Flames. Let's go ahead and use this. Wow, that doesn't hit in Unawakened. Okay, let me go ahead and test it out with Awakened version. No, that doesn't even reach. That's crazy. Okay, what about Swift Flight? Oh, that almost hits. Flaming Exodus, maybe this will hit? No. Oh, I don't think Phoenix wins this at all, bro. This is crazy. So Phoenix, man, you're going straight Dookie tier. First legendary to not pass. But next up, we got Portal, and I have a feeling this one's not passing either. Okay, first of all, we have Portal Dash. Let me try to aim that up. Yeah, that made it about halfway. Quantum Leap. Let me see. Does this teleport all the way over here? No. This is the maximum distance of Quantum Leap. And Dimensional Rift and Parallel Escape would not make it. Portal, unfortunately, does not make it. It stays in Dookie tier. This has me wondering if Rumble will even make it. I think we'll actually make it with Rumble on the first ability. Let's see. And we do. Rumble passes easy. And I'm pretty sure it would also pass for Sky Judgment. Yep, but I believe this is the max range of Sky Judgment, so Rumble may struggle in the next level. Pain Fruit next. Let's be real. We all know the result of this. It has been a long-known fact in Blox Fruits that the Pain moves can damn near go on forever, like 2,000 blocks or something like that. So yeah, this is gonna be no issue. Pain hits that easily. Next up, we got Blizzard. Snowflake Shuriken. Let me see if that hits. Wow, that just disappears right before. Okay, what about Whiteout? Okay. That hits, actually. Wow. Blizzard's got a little bit more range than I thought. So Blizzard passes. That said, Blizzard was the last legendary of the video. Now we're moving on to mythicals. Starting off with the newly reworked Gravity Fruit. And this one I'm actually a bit curious about. First off, we have Singularity, which is not a long range ability at all. Okay, what about Orbital Chain? This is a turret ability. Will this hit? This does. At this distance is crazy. And I have a feeling Gravity is going to make it really far in this video. But enough of that. Let's reset and let's switch on to the second mythical of the video, Mammoth. I don't think we're going to be having any trouble passing with this one. Let me just go ahead and use this. Stampede. I believe this is the longest range ability. Wow. Not only did I miss that, it went past without me even trying to go past. Yeah, Mammoth has no trouble with this. What about T-Rex though? T-Rex, I believe, is the same thing. If we use our gigantic leap and aim it correctly, it'll actually go past. Yeah, T-Rex passes that pretty easily. Pretty convincingly too. The Dough Fruit. Ooh, I'm curious about this one. Can Dough even pass this? All right, first off, we have Missile Jab. Does this hit? It does. That actually went pretty far. Dough man make it far. You know what? There's no reason for me to test any further. Dough got it. Shadow next. All right, first off, let's test Somber Rebellion. Oh, that almost hit. No, I have a feeling Shadow's gonna fail. Okay, hold on. What about Shade's Nest? Let me hold this. Maybe if you hold it, it goes longer. Okay, that hit. Perfect. So Shadow at least makes it past the level 1. So far, we haven't had any mythicals fail yet. I'm glad about that. Let's see if this stands true with Venom. First off, Poison Daggers. Almost hits, but just barely doesn't. Noxious Shot. Let's hold this fully. And this still doesn't hit. It just barely doesn't hit. I think for this one, we're going to have to get the Fury Meter full and test this out this way. All right, we got our Fury Meter full. And now it's time to test in transformation. First off, Poison Daggers. Does that hit? Still no. Okay, what about Noxious Shot? This has to hit, right? Yep, that does. Okay, I was about to be worried. If Venom got it eliminated round 1, that would have been insane. Next up, Control. All right, for this one, we have to activate our control area, which does activate over there. In fact, it goes even further back. So we went 100%. We'll be able to pass with Control. Not only can the Levitate hit, the Gamma Rush also would be able to hit. Very impressive. The Gas Fruit is next, and this one I'm actually a little bit curious about if it'll even pass. We're gonna have to test this out in base and transformation, but let's just see if it passes in base. If it does, there's no need to transform. Smog Demons does not hit. Wow. Only thing left to do is transform and test it out this way. Suffocating Fumes hits easily. Gas passes. But will Spirit pass, or will it be the first mythical to not pass? Only one way to find out. First off, let's go ahead and use Wrath of Ra. This is our longest range ability, and it actually passes right away. And as for Leopard, easily passes. And as for Yeti, obviously with the Frostbite Boulder, easily passes as well. 2 mythicals left for level 1. First off, Kissane, and this one, without question, passes. Last but not least, for level 1, we have Dragon. And since we're not going to be using the transformation, it doesn't matter which one we go, so I'm going to go west. This one, I think we have a very clear idea if this is going to pass or not. It easily passes. I'm not even going to charge this fully. Hits easily and goes even further past. So now we've completely wrapped up with level 1, and these are all the fruits that couldn't pass. But this is now level 2. Now we're going to be using the moves from this distance, and we have to see if it hits all the way over here. Once again, we're starting with Rocket. Now Rocket may have won level 1, but let's see if Rocket wins level 2, and oh, Rocket still hits from there? No way. So this is our first fruit to pass level 2, and it did quite convincingly. Now let's see if Spin does. Our best move is Air Slasher, and oh, Spin does not pass level 2. So that means Spin has to go in good range category. Next up, we got Bomb, and Bomb. Oh, it's right on top of her. Let's see if this actually hits though. Oh no, Bomb didn't hit. So this means Bomb cannot move on, and instead goes in the good range category. But what about Smoke? Last time, Smoke Blast went pretty far. Let's see if it does this time. And and see, does it hit? Ooh, it still does. So smoke moves on. And now we're on to Spike. Now Spike may have passed level 1, but I have a feeling this is not about to make it to level 2. And yeah, it can't. Spike summon can only go so far before it just can't go any further. Spike is destined to go in good range tier. Let's see if Flame suffers the same fate though. So first off, we have Blue Fire Bullets. Let's see if this reaches. Oh, it reached off that alone. Flame passes. What about Ice though? Let's see if Ice will hit, and oh, Ice actually went past. So I'm gonna consider that a pass. I just kind of aimed it wrong. Looks like Frozen Dragon's got some more potential we've yet to see. Now we got Sand, Desert Blade. Does that hit? Yep, passes that convincingly. But what about Dark? I feel like Dark just barely made it last time. Let's see if the Dark Rocks hit from over here. And oh, it actually made it further. I don't know how I missed that. Hold on, let's try that again. Let's try that again. I know it made it further, but we need to see if it actually hits the target on this one. Come on. And it does. Perfect. Dark passes. Now, Eagle's M1s made it that far last time. Let's see if this is the same case this time. I have a feeling we may have met Eagle's match. Let's see, though. Fully charged M1, and oh, the M1 goes just over here, bro. No. Eagle gets dropped off in the good range tier. But what about Light? I have a feeling Divine Arrow is going to be enough with this one. Let's see. Yep, easy. Now let's do Rubber. I'm assuming this is gonna be another easy pass. Yep, light work. Rubber moves on. Now let's see, does Magma make it? Let me shoot the fire showers. Oh, that made that easily. But as for Quake, I think Quake might have met its match in level 2. Only one way to find out though. Okay, Air Crusher, does that hit? No, it does. Wait, it did. The move disappeared and it still hit. Well, I guess it's a pass. And now it's Buddha time. It passed the first one. Let's see if it passes the second one, and easily. But what about Love Fruit? Heart Shot does not hit. Okay, so we have one more ability that could hit. We're all relying on Cupid Zone, and Cupid Zone hits. Love moves on. For now, we're moving on to Creation. All right, first off, let me try to see. Will Sword Box reach over there? Let me see. Sword Box. Ooh, Sword Box does not hit. Okay. So we're all riding on Magic City. Let me try to hold that as much as I can. Magic City. And Magic City still hits. Damn, that covered the entire thing of this. Creation passive with Flying Colors. And now on for Spider. Let's be real, we all know the results of this one. Easy. Yeah, Spider's got a lot of ways to go before it starts getting challenged. And the next several fruits to pass were Sound, Rumble, and Pain. Now we're on Blizzard, the last legendary fruit. Let's see. Will it pass second level? And okay, Snowflake Shuriken didn't hit. Whiteout, will this one hit? Come on. No, that's our best bet. Last but not least, we have Blizzard Domain. Does this hit? And the answer is no. Blizzard gets left off in good range, which means we've only got mythicals left. Starting with Gravity. In this one, let's go ahead and use Shooting Star. Light work. And the next few mythicals to pass was Mammoth, T-Rex, Doe, and Shadow. And now we're on to Venom. Let's see if this one can pass. All right, let's hold up Noxus Shot as much as we can, and wow, wait, that's the longest range ability we got. Venom loses on level 2? Hold on, let's try to aim this up. Maybe if we aim this more up. No, that's as far as it goes. Venom can't go any further. So this is the first mythical to not pass. This is insane work. I didn't think Venom would fall this low. But alas, Venom is dropped off in good range tier. Next up, we got Control. And for this one, I think there's no doubt this should be able to hit. Yep, let me use Levitate, and that ability hits. Next up, we got Gas. Let's see if this one passes. Suffocating Fumes, and oh, it reaches. Gas moves on. As for Spirits, let's see. Oh, that didn't reach. I think that's the longest range ability, but let's wait for End of Times just in case. Wait, hold on. Can't we summon the homies? Oh, the homie can reach over there. So you know what? Technically, Spirit can pass. That is an attack you can put down. I'm going to count it either way. It's furry time, boys. Leopard on level 2. All right, let me go up in the air for this one. Spiral Kick. It's the longest range ability we got. It didn't hit. Okay, hold on. Maybe I need to hold it. But in the meantime, I'll wait for that cooldown. Let me see if that hits. Nope. Okay, hold on. Let me try this. Spiraling Kick. And it doesn't go. So Leopard does not pass. That's crazy. Leopard gets dropped off in good range. Now for Yeti, I think this one should have no problem passing. Let's go ahead and use Frostbite Boulder. Oh, okay, I aimed that wrong. Oh, wait, that still actually hit. The shards of the boulder hitting off still counts. Kitsune time. Let's see if this hits. Foxfire Disruption, and yeah, that's easy. Now for the last one, level 2, we have Dragon. Easily passes. The remaining fruits you see right here pass level 2, and we'll move on to level 3. But the ones in good range, the 2 mythicals, and the rest, sadly fake. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into level 3, which is going to start from the arches of the outside of Turtle Mansion all the way to the end of the road right here. Yeah, a lot of fruits are going to fail this one. Starting off with the Rocket Fruit, which has honestly impressed me that it's even made this far, but I think it's met its match. Rocket Crash, and oh, that actually made it really far, but not even close. Rocket gets dropped off in insane range tier. Let's see if the Smoke Blast will hit all the way over there. Let's go ahead and hold as much as we can, and Let's see. Let's see. Nope. It didn't even make it halfway. Sadly, Smoke's met his match 2 this time, ladies and gentlemen. It's out. Maybe Flame will make it, though. I honestly think Flame could make it. Let's see. Blue Fire Bullets. Does that make it? That actually made it really far. Okay, what about Prominence Burst? Come on, come on, come on. Wow. Okay, okay. Last ditch effort. We have Hell's Core. Come on, let me charge that thing fully. Hell's Core. Does that hit? Oh, it's actually going really far. It's actually going really far. That actually might hit. Oh, it didn't hit. It didn't hit. It just disappeared toward the end, bro. No. Flame, sadly, you're out. And if Flame couldn't make it, ladies and gentlemen, I have no hope for Ice. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this. Frozen Dragon. Let's see. How am I even gonna do this? Oh, it made it really far. Actually, no, that's not even halfway. Yeah, Ice is out too, bro. This is sad. None of these fruits yet have made it past this, but maybe the sand fruit will. Let's go ahead and find out. Let me charge this as much as I can. Desert, come on. Blade. That didn't even make it halfway. Tough challenge we got here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if the deep sand will. Come on, let's charge that up fully. Deep sand. Nope, that disperses quick. Sand is out. Dark's made it far. I honestly didn't think Dark could even make it half as far as it did. Let's see if it passes or if it fails. Dark rocks, you could only do so much. Let's see though, let's see though. Does those hit? Does those hit? Does those hit? No, they just straight up disappear. Dark, I'm sorry, you're cooked. Light fruit. Let's see. Divine arrow. Let me try to aim it right up there. Oof, they disperse quick. There ain't no way Hand of Emperor is reaching there. This is the max range of that. Light is out. But what about the rubber fruits? I got Gear 2 activated. Let me go ahead and use Slingshot. There's no way this hits. There's no way this hits all the way from over here. Yeah, it has nothing to grab onto. Wow, we haven't had a single passing fruit. This might be cooked. Does Magma have it? Let's see. Come on, let me aim that as high as it could go. Wow, those are actually making it pretty far, but not close enough. Let me aim this as high as it could go. Let's see how far that... Oh, wow. That didn't even make it far. Last ditch effort, we got Volcanic Storm. Let's see. And... Oh, that's making it far. Oh, that goes down way too quick. Yeah, I'm afraid Magma fails too. Maybe Quake will pass with the Sea Quake? First off, let's try Air Crusher. Ooh, that's not gonna hit. Yeah, that's not hitting. That's not hitting. That is not hitting. Absolutely not. What about Sea Quake? Let's see. Maybe the Quakes will come in that way and hit it. Only one way to find out. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. And, oh no. The Sea Quake's coming from the exact opposite direction. Quake fails. And Buddha... also fails. But what about love? The previous fruit that had the infinite range. Does it still work? Come on, let's hold Cubism as long as it can go. Let me aim it up there. And... nope, it does not work. It's been sadly nerfed. Gone are the days where love can shoot people from across the sea. It's over. Love fails. I'm gonna be honest, there's literally no hope for creation. Like, Magic City barely made it past the last one. Yeah, that's not even close. Sadly, creation is done. All of these fails, ladies and gentlemen, but I think this next one may be a winner. Spider fruit. Only one way to find out. Let's see. Overheated Sniper. Does this reach? And... I think that actually reached, but I gotta aim it right. Okay, let's give that a reach right. Maybe we need to get down on another level. Let's give this another try. Oh, I actually hit it there. Wow, wait. So Spider actually passes this. Overheated Sniper has insane range, boys. Only fruit that's passed so far. And now we're on Sound, which has literally no hope of passing. But let's go ahead and see if it does anyways. Yeah, no, that just ends too soon. Sadly, Sound does not make it. And Rumble's got little hope too, especially now with that. Yeah, that did not even get close. So Sky Judgment has a capped limit of this far. Yeah, that's not hitting there. But what about a little Thunderball Destruction? Let's see. And... nope, capped limit. Sadly, my favorite fruit does not pass. But what about the pain fruit? Yes, sir. This may be the second pass other than Spider. Let's see. Heavy pain. Let's go ahead and aim that. I'm going to aim that up. Let's do that. Does that actually hit? I think that's right on the money. Oh, it's a little too high. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me try. How can I get this to hit? What's the best way I can get this to hit? Let me do it like that. Man, that might be too low. That might be too low. Oh, that actually hit, bro. What? Pain fruit passes. And this one, I bet y'all are interested to know. The gravity fruit. Gravity fruit would have normally not been able to pass this whatsoever. Would have literally had zero chance. But watch, ladies and gentlemen. If we use Shooting Star, aim it right there, and use that, you guys will see. It does not hit. Okay, hold on. Actually, let me do a redo. Aim's a little low, so we're gonna aim it a little higher. Higher than it should. And... okay, that time it was too far, but you see it went past her. So let me do it like this, and it hits. 100% hits. Gravity passes. Yo, does a new gravity fruit have the highest range in the game? Hey, could be. But the following next mythicals all failed this test terribly. Mammoth, T-Rex, Doe, Shadow, Control, Gas, and Spirit all failed. That's a lot of dang mythicals. But next up, we got the Yeti fruit, and I have a feeling this one's not gonna disappoint. Frostbite Boulder has some crazy range to it. I think it could actually hit this. Let me aim it all the way up, because it has a lot of drop, I believe. And first try. Yo, who would have thought, bro? Who would have thought Yeti had that kind of range, bro? Huh? Yeti passes easily. 2 fruits left. And second to last, we have Kitsune. Kitsune's made it very far, but let's see if it's end of the road here or if it continues. Nope, that is the end of the road for Kitsune. Foxfire Disruption is our longest range ability, which means Kitsune, sadly, is stuck in Insane Rage. It's met its match. But what about the Dragon Fruit? Both of these transformations have the exact same range, so we're just gonna go with West. And now let's go ahead and get our transformation. Full transformation ready? Let's go. All right, Dragon West. Now, I've never actually tested the max distance of Heat Wave Cannon, so I'm a little curious. I'm actually gonna go a little bit behind the start line. So let's see if this actually works. Heat Wave Cannon charged all the way, and this, look, not only did it hit, it literally pushed her all the way over here. That is crazy. Dragon passes 100%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the range of all fruits tested in the game. And all we have left is the Spider, Pain, Gravity, Yeti, and Dragon Fruit, which all pass level 3 with flying colors. So all of these fruits will get moved to the Phase Clan tier. Who would have thought, bro? Gravity and Yeti? I didn't think they added in them. I do want to point out that none of these brackets are ordered, but as for Phase Clan tier, these 5 fruits all have the highest range in the game. Starting off with combo number 1, sent by Sosuke Eyes, and he said it took him 3 hours for this. So it looks like down at the bottom, he's running Death Step, Shark Anchor, Spirit, and Soul Guitar. So we got a Spirit combo. He lands a Spirit C, followed by the Shark Anchor. Now he's doing Death Step, Vermilion Drill. Okay, Shark Anchor Z, then End of Times. Oh, this is actually a unique combo. Damn. Okay, that's actually not bad to start off with. I don't know if you guys noticed, he is a console player. Look at those icons down below. Decently a person to start off with. However, this is a Spirit Shark Anchor combo, and the only really unique part he had of it was the Death Step. Other than that, though, this is a typical Spirit combo, I must say. So we're gonna give this a 6.5 to start off with. Combo number 2, and this one is only 4 seconds, so this must be insane. He's using Dragon Talon, Rumble, Soul Guitar, and Dark Blade. Not exactly the most unique build, but let's see the combo. So he lands with the Rumble X, Dark Blade X, Dark Blade Z. He runs the Dragon Talon X, does a little 360 straight into the Dragon Talon C. Now that wasn't bad, and it was a very quick one-shot combo, but that wasn't what I would call unique. In fact, I see Rumble Dark Blade builds all the time. We're gonna give this a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry, guests, don't come at me. This next combo is by a guy named Bread, and he typed in chat, I'm a 7.4 million bounty player. I might add the lowest rating in Cloud's next vid, I predict. Why do you have no confidence in yourself, my boy? Come on now. Can't be that bad. All right, I'm on the video, and he is running a portal build. Well, I can definitely say he may get a low rating. All right, what does he start with? Let's see. Okay, Electroclaw C, CDK X, CDK Z, Kabucha X. Oh, wow. He actually did that combo completely without even using portal. It is a 25,000 damage combo. That is actually pretty unique because he didn't include portal. It was a technically fruitless build. I'm gonna give this one a 7. Not bad. You ain't get the lowest rating, bro. Be proud of yourself. Next clip, we got a mobile player, and bro is not even max level. He's level 1,888. I think we know how this is gonna go. Bro's also running E-Claw, Magma, and Twin Hooks. Ooh, E-Claw C, Twin Hooks. Ooh, hold up. That actually wasn't bad. Hold on, let's see that again, bro. Started off with the Thunderclap and Flash, Psy Cyclone, Volcanic Storm, and Magma Shower. Now, I have no idea if that's a true combo, but I will say, for a mobile player, that's not bad. That's not bad. For the uniqueness, I'll give this a 7.5. Another really OP T-Rex combo. Never seen anyone use this build. I think it deserves to be in the vid. I'll be the judge of that. Looks like he's running Sanguine Art and Midnight Blade with T-Rex. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that build either. Let's see how he starts it. Predator Screech. Okay. Crescent Dash. All right. Hunter's Rage. Bloodbane Drain. You know what? This is actually not that bad. This is actually not that bad of a combo. Although I don't think this combo's true because you can see right here, there is a small gap before he used his portal opening. And I think the enemy could have canned away after that. So I'm just going to give this one a 6 out of 10. So far, we have yet to see any crazy, unique, or insane combos. Let's see if this next one changes that. Sanguine Art, Dark, Jite, and Serpent Bow. What the heck type of build is that, dog? I've never even seen a build like that. Hold on, this guy better cook. Let me see. Flash Step. Okay, right now he's getting hit by the enemy. The enemy's using Yama. Okay, he pulls him in with that. Serpent Bow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, he actually is managing to use Jite in a combo? That is actually crazy. And he just typed in chat W Aura. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Just for the fact that he actually successfully used Jite in a combo, I'm giving this an 8. I'm giving this a straight 8. And he even typed in chat here, hoping it gets in vid. Hey, Breezy, you definitely made it into the vid, my boy. And you got a high ranking too. This next combo, we have a sand combo by a mobile user. I wonder if this one could be able to compete with the last one. Starts off the combo with a fully charged Godhuman C, then snipes with the Sand Coffin. Okay, okay. Sandstorm, Deep Sand, hits him with the Gravity Cane, and straight with the Godhuman Z. Very powerful one-shot combo. However, that was just just a basic God-Human Sand combo. Definitely not what I would consider that unique, but I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. What can I say? I just like sand combos, man. This next one's by Sir Croco, and he said another hybrid combo, but it's control. Ooh, I love my control combos. It's such an underrated fruit, I'm not gonna lie. This man's running E-Claw control, twin hooks, and kombucha. Let's see, E-Claw C. Oh, wait, what? I forgot you could even do that. Okay, Prehistoric Punch, Sky Cyclone. That is actually so saucy. That is so saucy. He hits it with the Electric Claw C, quickly activates control area. It was able to pull off the Echo Knife. Follows it up with a Prehistoric Punt. Oh, that is so fire. That is so fire. True one-shot too. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna rate this one an 8.1 because this was fire. I've never even seen someone run this control build. Started off a little slow with some of those first combos, but we are quickly heating up. What do we got next? We have a Sanguine Art, Quake, and Dark Dagger User. Ooh, what the heck? Hold on. Bro did Bloodbane Drain right here, and then Proficient Impale. Like, that is just not true at all. The person could have canned after that, but I guess let's just hear him out. Then he does Same and Slash. Okay. I mean, this is a pretty interesting combo, except it wasn't true at literally the first part, which the user admits to right here. He said it isn't good in a real fight. It's can-trickable and hard to land. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 10. Dope concept though. We have another mobile user here, and bro's running Buddha Fruit. What the heck, bro? You really submitted this in, Buddha Fruit, for a unique combo video? Let's see what you got. Starts it off with Doe Hurricane. Already untrue. You could have kenned the pull. Did he just put an M1 in there? Oh, no way. He does the Spiky Trident pull. M1's once. Oh my god, bro. There are so many gaps to Kendrick out of this. And even if there wasn't, God Human and Spiky Trident isn't exactly what I would consider unique. Hey, I'm sorry, man, for this, but I'm gonna give this a straight 2 out of 10, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Simple Love Fruit combo. Okay, we don't see Love Fruit very often. He is using God Human Spiky Trident, though, so it ain't a unique build, but let's see what he's got for the combo. Okay, goes for the Soul Guitar Z, just barely misses. How does he start this combo? Let's see. Okay, he punished that guy with the Heart Shot. God Human C, nice punish, pulls him in there. Uses that. Nice stun. Okay, that wasn't bad. And this guy's a 10.2 million bounty player. Not exactly the best combo we've seen. I mean, this also wasn't true, I don't think. Like, after this right here, after the God Human C, the person could have easily kenned, especially since he didn't activate his Cyborg V3. So the combo could have been avoided, but because it was a bit saucy and with the Love Fruit, I'm gonna give this a 7.5. So far out of all of the combos, we have Sir Croco in first place with the control combo and Breezy in second place with the dark combo. But let's see if this next one will change that. We have this guy named CGOso. He said, I made this combo when I was enjoying Flame at the time. I'm also a huge fan, making my way to be the best mobile player. Wish me luck. It's also true, by the way. All right, so the combo he's sending is true. He's running Sharkman, Karate, Flame, Gravity Cane, and Soul Guitar. And he's a mobile user. That's actually a pretty unique build I really have never seen. Let's see how he starts this combo off. Starts it off with the Dimensional Grasp. Good way to start it because you can't Kendrick it. Then he does the Flamey Vortex, 12 Water Palms, Lunar Blitz, okay. Pressure Vortex, Deep Sea Spear, and Prominence Burst. Damn, 14,472 damage. That is not bad for a mobile player, bro. I would have liked to seen it in the middle of a fight. I mean, you did it against a guy that wasn't even moving, but you actually sauced up with this, bro. Let me see this again. Look at that, bro. Look at that. Like, this may be the most unique one we've seen, even possibly above the control one. I'm gonna give you an 8.5 out of 10. I like this combo. The control combo that was once in first place has now been dethroned. Next combo, though, is sent in by a guy named Papa Joe. He said, Clouds, please notice. And at the end of it, he said, I'm pretty sure it cannot be Kendrick. Well, I guess I'll be the judge of that. Bro's running God, Human, and Light. Let's see how he starts this off. Kombucha X. Okay. Spiky Trident Pull. Spiky Trident X. Wow. Can't be Kendrick, huh? What the heck? Bro, you can't just do that. That's not a true combo right there, bro. That entire time you were trying to catch up to the dummy, a real person could have just 100% kenned that. Combo is just completely invalid after that, and I wouldn't even consider this unique. 4 out of 10. What have we got next? We got a Spirit user. Let's see what he does. Thunderclap and Flash, most likely. Yep. Wrath of Shoe. Look down. End of Times. So far, this looks like just a basic Spirit combo. He hits the stun with the Pull V2. He hits him with Kombucha X and finishes off with the Electric Claw Z. To me, this just seems like a basic Spirit combo. The only difference is he's using Pull V2 instead of like Yama and Spiky Trident. Although you still sauced up, so I'll give you a 7.2 out of 10. Sharkman, Karate, Quake, Spiky Trident, Kombucha. This will be an interesting one. And bro is an 8.8 million bounty player. All right, let's see what he got. Let's see what you got. Sea Quake, Pressure Vortex, 12 Water Palm, Gray Sea Spear. I'm assuming he's gonna do the pull. Yep, Kombucha, another pull. Yep, that is not a bad combo. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty solid. It didn't one-shot the dude. The only reason it didn't one-shot him is because the dude he's fighting is a 24 million bounty player player, and I'm assuming he's on his ult slot where he has less bounty. But overall, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see quick combos very often. This is pretty fire, I will say. And his name also is the One Piece is real. Oh, he's committed to the full Whitebeard persona. You know what? Because of that, I'll give this guy an 8. Next combo sent by Jimpix. He says, I bet you have never seen this build. Skip to 15 seconds. Okay. And bro's build is Dragon Talon, Portal, Twin Hooks, and Kabucha. Well, I've definitely seen most of that build. Never in this order though, so I'll give you that. He's in his Dimensional Rift right now. He goes out. Let's see what he does. Okay. Hits him with the Portal X, Portal Z. Okay, Kabucha. Ooh, that's kind of saucy. Okay. Okay, he hits him with the Portal X after the Dimensional Rift. Hits him right there. Intense Wind, Firebird. Wait, is this dude running gun stats? Hold on. Look at this. He hits him with the Portal thing. That only does 188 damage. He hits him with the Intense Wind, 2,700 damage. Flying Bird, 5,900 damage. Bro is running Kabucha gun main stats. Like, look, he's not even doing any damage with his Twin Hooks. That is weird, bro. You know what, Jimpix? I'll give it to you. I've never seen that build, and I've never seen anyone run those stats with that build. Now, I can't say this combo is better than the control combo, so it's got to be lower. I'm going to give this one a 7.9. Holy moly. This man sent a whole Bible of a text for this combo. El de la Mayo. He says, all right, this is by far the most unique and insane anti-Shark and Angel combo you will see. You know what? I'm here for it. Now, I have no idea if this combo is true. I mean, it looks like it's true to me. Everything looks like it all tied into each other. But just for the fact that he used this build and actually used it well in the way he did, I'm going to give this guy a 9 out of 10. Congratulations, Spider user. Mobile Flame combo has just been dethroned. Now we have the Spider combo in first place, the Flame combo in second place, and the Control combo in third place. Things are honestly unfolding very unexpectedly. Next up, we have a combo sent in by this guy named Kiwi. He said, hope this could be in the video. Congrats on 1 million clouds. W. I appreciate that, bro. All right, Rumble X, Kabucha X. Ooh, Dark Dagger. Ooh, Dark Dagger with Shark Anchor. Ooh, wait. This right here was a saucy combo, bro. And this was pretty quick, too. I believe this is also true. Like, I don't think there's any gaps you could have escaped out of that because of the stun and the Kabucha X. I really like this one. I'm not gonna lie. Just as much as the Control one. And because I like it just as much as the Control one, I think it deserves the same ranking. 8.1. Right now, third place is tied between Sir Croco and Kiwi. Will they both win, or will there end up being a combo that's slightly better and steal the third place from them? But I will say, if there's any clip that's about to steal third place from it, it's definitely not about to be this one, bro. Bro's running Superhuman, Buddha, and Holoscythe. I already know he ain't about to cook. Still, let's hear him out, though. He starts off with Death Cyclone, Conqueror Gun, Superhuman Z. Yeah, this just was not a true combo through and through. Like, how you gonna start the combo with Death Cyclone, my boy? Hey, I'm sorry, man. I know you're a 2.5 million bounty player and all, but I don't think you cooked with this one, bro. Go back to the lab. 2 out of 10. Maybe this next combo will dethrone third place, though. We got another mobile user, and he's running Sand Dragon Talon and Yama. Okay, what does he do here? Okay, he goes up to Yama, gets the right positioning. Ooh. Okay. Now, I would have liked to see this like actually done in a real fight. The fact that you're able to pull this off as a mobile was nice. I mean, look at this. Positioning with the Yama here. Puts him in the right angle. Hits the Sand Coffin. Desert Blade. Hits the Yama. The Deep Sand. That is a pretty saucy combo. I'm not gonna lie. Mobile players are showing up and showing out in this video. I mean, the second place is literally by a mobile user. And this guy is almost on that level. My only gripe with this combo is he started off with the raw Sand Coffin, which is a little tough to do in PvP, which is why I would have liked to see this in a real fight. But still a very saucy combo. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. Third place ain't been dethroned yet. This next clip is sent in by, I don't even know what that name says. I think it's X2 Voidy Official. He says he's a 30 million body player on Marine and Pirate. Let's go ahead and check his combo out. All right, God Human C Charge, True Trooper Katana Z, Portal Z. Okay, this is definitely not a unique combo whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie. This is a combo I see like on the daily. Very good combo. No cap. Very good combo, but it's just also a very common one. I'm gonna give this a 6.5 because it's not that unique, but very strong combo. One of the strongest, most overpowered in the game. Oh, we got another Control one, and he got just sucked up by a Portal V. Pause. Let's see how he gets out of this, because he looks like he's on the edge right now. Looks like this Portal user's putting pressure on him. He's using Midnight Blade. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. This is not bad. I'm liking this. All right. Yo, this is actually fire. This is actually fire, bro. This may dethrone the other Control combo. I've never even seen someone use Midnight Blade with Control. It didn't one-shot, though. He managed to get the kill with the Thunderclap and Flash there, but that could have been avoided. So it wasn't exactly a one-shot combo. I don't know if this guy was a Shark user or something, or how he survived that. He still managed to get the kill at the end, though. Ooh, wait, this is tough. That combo was just so saucy, bro. I think it's better than the other Control combo. I'm giving this one an 8.3 out of 10. Wall of Fire, you have now taken third place. Uh-oh, I was wondering when we get one of
with these. We have a mobile dough user. I wonder how he's gonna start this combo off. I can almost pretty much guess how he's gonna do it. Pasty River, yep. Kaboosha X. He's gonna go for the pull. Dough Fist Fusillade, I already know. And he's gonna go for the piercing clothesline, most likely. Yep. Also, what is this lag, bro? What the heck is bro doing? Dough Hurricane, yep. God Human moves. Yep, pretty typical. Pretty typical. Not much to say about this. It's a dough combo. 4 out of 10. 3 skilled one-shot sand combos on Max Bunny player. Okay, we got 3 clips to look at with this one. Let's see what you got cooked for me. First one, he's using sand and twin hooks. Okay, prehistoric punt, sky cyclone. Ooh, kaboosha. Ooh, wait, this is looking heat. This is looking heat. One-shot combo right there, 14,000 damage. What else you got for me? Now he's using a slightly less skilled. He's using Crystal Katana this time. He snipes the sand coffin there. Revolving Ravager. Okay. Yo, this is actually fire. Yo, this man's like the sand main, bro. What the heck? Second one definitely wasn't as unique as the first one, but maybe the third clip will be something insane. This one, he's using sand Shisui. Oh, yo, that's... Huh? How? This bro's just doing stuff that doesn't even make sense. Like, hold on, bro. This doesn't even make sense. He lands the Sand Z. God Human C. Dog, that is so insane. Is that even escapable, bro? Like, look at that. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all may be upset at me for this. I like this more than the control combo that just took 3rd place. In fact, I even like this more than the flame combo. I'm giving this one an 8.7 out of 10. I'm just a fan of this. This looks so saucy, especially with the Shisui. Like, how do you even do that? God Human C in the Shisui and then instantly Sand Tornado? I've never seen anything like that done. New placements. We have El De La Mayo in 1st place. We have XYN in 2nd place. And we have Sigosos in 3rd place. That sand combo just shook everything up. I'm not gonna lie. Next, we got another mobile user though, and he's using Rengoku Flame Dragon Town. Okay, don't really know what just happened there. Let me see that restarted. Starts it off with Flaming Vortex, I believe. It's kind of weird because that's like, I don't believe that's a true combo, and the chances of you hitting that in a public server just off rip like that, kind of low. Also, he didn't even finish his combo here, so it's an unfinished combo. I'm gonna have to give this one a 5 out of 10. I think you should have gave me a better clip to work with. Next up, we have a combo sent in by my boy, Good Boy Nutter. I don't even know why your name is that in my Discord. Let's go ahead and watch it though. Dragon Talon, Rumble, Kaboosha, and Twin Hooks. All right, starts it off with the Thunderstorm, Prehistoric Punt, goes up with the Dragon Talon Z, which I believe could be Kenda afterwards, right? Like, isn't Dragon Talon Z Kennable after that? Let's see that again. Starts it off with the Rumble X, Prehistoric Punt, Talon Lighter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that could have been Kenda after that, right? I'm not really too entirely sure. Maybe there was a gap to escape. You definitely could escape here. During this part where he's trying to use the Dragon Talon C, I feel like you definitely could escape here. So I'm not entirely sure how true this combo is. Still a saucy one though. I'm gonna give this an 8. Good job, Nutter. Next up though, one-shot spin combo. Okay, you got my attention. A spin combo? First common fruit we've seen in the video. All right, let's see what is going on. He is getting hit right now. Okay, he goes with the Spiky Trident X, Spiky Trident Z, goes with the Spin Z, and yeah, okay, hold on. Let me watch that again because I was a little confused. At the start, he hits him with the Dough Hurricane. Could Ken right there right before he does the Spiky Trident X, unless you broke their Ken, of course. He does the Spin Z, got Human X, got Human Z, got Human C, and that's the end of the combo right there. Not exactly the best combo I've seen. I'm pretty sure those gaps you could have Ken there. You have Cyborg V3 though, so maybe that makes it a true combo. Either way, we've definitely seen some more insane combos. I'm gonna give this a 6.5. Quake combo. All right, say less. We got another Quake combo to see. Let's see what he's got. His build, he actually isn't really using like anything unique. He's using pretty common stuff. Still want to see how he does this though. Okay, he goes for the C Quake. Got Human Z, fully charged X, Spiky Trident Pull. Yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, the typical Quake combo. I'm pretty sure I did this Quake combo in one of my videos. Very strong, but not really used with any unique sort of builds. I would have liked to seen it done with like a unique weapon, maybe Kaboosha, something like that. Still though, deserves no less than a 7. Oh, we got a shadow combo, boys. We got a shadow combo. Bro's build is God Human, Shadow, Kaboosha, and Bicento. Ooh, okay. Let's see what you got. All right, how does he start this thing off? Summer Rebellion. Okay, he lands it. Got Human X. Ooh, Kaboosha. Ooh, okay. That was not bad. I don't think he used Bicento anywhere through this combo though. Oh, he did. Okay, right after he lands the God Human X, he quickly does Quake Sphere, then lands the Kaboosha while he's stunned in there. Got Human C, straight into the Corvus Torment. Oh, that was saucy. I also like that he used Bicento. We haven't seen anybody even use this sword. That is not bad. This is a tough one to rate. I can't cap because I don't think it's better than the first place. I don't think it's better than the second place, but it may be better than the third place, bro. All right, I think I got my score. I'm gonna give this one an 8.4, right under the third place, because that flame combo with the mobile user,
That one is tough to beat. And last but not least, we have our final combo of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Sent in by Conquerors827. Let's see what you got for me. Let's see what you got for me. Okay, he's running Dark right now. Sanguine Art. All right. I mean, this is kind of like a meta build. Shark Anchor as well. Okay. I mean, like, it's a good combo. Very, very strong combo. Super meta, though. Super meta. Like, I see these types of combos all day, every day. The only outlier is that you're using Dark instead of, like, Portal and Rumble. I can't give this one a high rating, man. It's supposed to be unique combos. 6.5 out of 10. With that last combo out the way, those ladies and gentlemen, we have our final placements ready. In first place, we have El De La Mayo with the insane spider combo. In second place, we have XYN with the beautiful Sans Cheese Sweet combo. And last but not least, in third place, we have Zigosos, the Flame Mobile combo. All right, we got the second place winner right here. Let me ask him, what perm did you want? Can you do perm T-Rex? Okay, not a bad choice, not a bad choice. Not a lot of people choose that one, but I respect it. Permanent T-Rex coming your way. There you go. Congratulations. Now we got the third place winner, Zigosos. He said he wants the Shadow Fruit. Also, bro's rocking the Edgar outfit. What the heck? W pick though, hopefully you enjoy the shadow. There you go. And as for the final winner, he hasn't responded yet, but I'll get to him later. Let me know what y'all thought about this video and comment down below which was your favorite combo. Account number 1, we're on someone named Rip Void's account. And they told me in private servers they have never spent any money on Blox fruits, but they do have some items that costed money. So let's go and log into the account and see what they got. So first thing I'm noticing, I didn't see any game passes appear up top here. But what I do notice is they are max level 2,600 and got 60 million belly. And on top of that, we've got Cyborg V4 on this account. As far as bounty goes, they are only 2.6 million bounties, so they ain't bounty hunters. We know that much. And just looking down at the inventory, we can see that they do have God Human. Okay. Ooh, 600 mastery on God Human too. Sheesh. So they grinders. We've also got Buddha equipped. I wonder if they have that permanent. We're gonna find that out a little bit later. And one thing I do notice is that they have Dark Blade and have 600 mastery on this. And this is actually really impressive because they did tell me in DMs that they grinded for this in the game. They didn't spend any money to get this. So W on that. But maybe they're really stacked on fruits and permanent fruits. Let's find out. First of all, let's check the menus. Go to items. Ooh, looks like they got almost every mythical sword in the game. They are missing out Hollow Scythe, but they got Cursed Katana and it's upgraded and it's at 409 mastery. Let me just see. Do we got a blessing on this Cursed Katana? Oh, looks like it doesn't have any blessings on it, but that makes sense because this is a free-to-play account, so they wouldn't have put money on enchants. What about guns? Do they have all of those? Looks like we have 13 guns on this account. They got Skull Guitar and every single other gun, but they don't have Dragon Storm. And speaking of which, on sword, they don't have Dragon Heart either, so they're missing out on all the new content, which makes me believe they also don't have the Draco Race. All right, what about the accessories? Maybe they have some exclusive accessories. Oh, we got the holiday cloak right here. Cupid's coat, heart shades. Okay, so they got the new stuff. Not bad, not bad. But you know what? Forget all this. Let's get to the stuff you guys care about. The treasure inventory. Not bad, not bad. We got multiple mythical fruits right out the gate. Spirit fruit, control, venom, shadow, doe, T-Rex. We got some high value ones in there. And more interesting, you see they have 4 controls, meaning they got 4 max storages. Very impressive that they grinded that as a free to play. Now, while they're missing out on some of the crazy high tier mythicals, they do have a solid, healthy balance of some decent mythicals. And last thing on this account, before we give it a rating, let's check out the permanents. I mean, do they even have any permanents in the game? They don't have permanent rocket. They don't have spin. They do have blade though. I feel like even most free-to-play accounts have permanent rocket and we don't see that here. So let's scroll down. Yeah, we're not seeing much. We're not seeing much of anything, boys. They don't even have permanent Buddha. That's an essential fruit right there that I did expect them to have, but they didn't. Do they even have any other ones other than Chop? And the answer is no. They have only 1 permanent fruit in the entire game, and it's blade. Not bad for our first account to start off with. Not bad, but I also didn't see anything insane from it other than the fact that it's max level, has God Human and V4. So to start off with this video, we're gonna give this account a 5.5. This one has a lot of things to improve on and things to obtain in the game, but it also was not bad. And that account may not have been that crazy, but trust me, you're gonna want to stick around to the end of the video because some of these accounts later on just might shock. But moving on for account number 2, we have my boy Shinra. He's one of the most OG fans on the account. We've shown his channel before on the previous video like this. Let's see how his account's improved. So first off, he's 3.3 million bounty now. Let me just say congratulations, bro. He's no longer a 2.5 million noob. He's escaped the jail. And we can also see he's got Draco V4. Bro's got the new race, brand new race. Sheesh. Already cooking off the gate. I also see you with the 12 million belly. Okay. Now, last time I hopped on this account, you didn't have much of the weapons in the game or guns. So let's see if that's changed now. We're just gonna speed run through this account just because we've seen it before. Ooh, my boy's got Dragon Heart, 500 mastery, and upgraded. Now, does he have a blessing on this? He's got Rot blessing on this. Sheesh. Well, now he got that. I actually got this for him. As for swords, he does have every single mythical sword in the game, from Cursed Katana all the way down to True Katana. And as far as mastery, CDK, he's got that 404 mastery. Dark Blade, 292, Hollow Scythe, 1 mastery. Okay, but he's slacking on the masteries. And the True Trick Katana, you don't even got the final ability on True Trick Katana. Oh my gosh, buddy, what are you doing, Shinra? Just grind it out. You're literally like halfway there. All right, you know what? Let me not judge. Let's see, how much total swords does he have? 31, brother. He has less swords than the previous account. Let's check out his permanent fruits before we check out his physical fruits. He's got permanent rocket, the staple every person has. Let's see, what else does he have? He's got none of these commons or uncommons. He does have diamond though. That's interesting. He's got diamond. Okay. I didn't expect that one. All right, let's scroll some more. He's got magma. I remember he won that in my tournament video. He's also got Buddha. So he's got the essential ones, including Portal, also essential. What else does he have? Okay, not many mythicals I'm seeing. He's got Yeti permanent. I also gave that to him. Kitsune permanent, also gave to him. Dragon permanent. Seems like he got all these permanents for me, bro. That's literally what just happened. But you know what? I'm not gonna hate on it. He has all the core essential permanents and core mythical permanents that you see typically throughout the game. Well, Streamer, so far your account has been pretty decent, but let's see if your physical fruits are even better. Let's go over to our treasure and we see, you got less mythicals than the other guy. Okay, we got Spirit, Shadow, 2 Mammoths, T-Rex, and Gravity. That said though, I think the last time I rated his account, I gave him like a 6.5 or something like that. I'm gonna bump him up to a 7 out of 10 for this because this is honestly pretty good. You could work with this, but it's far from being one of the best. You got a lot of work still to do, Shinra. Now it's time to move on to account number 3. Now, first things first, right off the gate, we can see this guy has pretty much every game pass in the game other than Fruit Notifier, which is a good sign. And we can also see that they have Shark V4 equipped right here. Sanguine Art as well, which is also at 600 mastery. Sheesh. Why do they have the Bomb Fruit equipped though? What the heck? Another thing I'm noticing is that they are max level 2,600, but what is this money, bro? 2,300 belly. We can't even do a gacha if we wanted to. And as for bounty, we are only on 2.6 million bounty. But if we switch over to Marine, we will see they're at 3.9 million bounty. Not bad. And you know what? For this account, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to go through the permanent fruits first. So I can see right off the gate, they don't have rocket, spin, or blade, or spring, or bomb, or smoke, or spike. Okay, so they literally have none of the commons. But we do have flame. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Flame's not a bad permanent fruit. I mean, this one is like 550 Robux, so that's kind of cool. Scrolling down a bit, we have nothing. We do have light though. Okay. What else do they got? Buddha, Phoenix, Portal, Rumble. Now, Rumble permanent. That's my favorite fruit right there. That's my main fruit right there. I like that. They just get extra points for that. All right, hold on, let me chill. What else they got? T-Rex. Okay, not bad. Doe, Shadow, Venom. We got a lot of these mythical fruits. Gas. We got a Leopard too. Yeah, damn. Yeti, Kitsune, Dragon, and Leopard. They got the 5 core mythicals on top of having a bunch of other mythicals too. Okay, we're on a strong start with this account. We haven't even seen the physical swords, guns, or fruits. Now, one thing that he told me that I'm not really going to go into and verify, he said he has every race on this account V4. So this man put some grinding on this account. But looking at the swords, we got 39 swords in the game. This guy literally has every sword in the game. We got Dark Blade upgraded too. Hold on, let me see. Do we got any enchants on this? Okay, no enchants, but we do have it at 600 mastery. Let me see. Hold on. Bicento, 515 mastery. Saber, 230 mastery. This guy's a grinder. 400 mastery on Shizu, 255 mastery on Gravity Blade, 600 mastery on Dual Katana. We also got the new sword Dragon Heart at 500 mastery. Buddy Sword. Okay, doesn't look like we have any enchants on any of these. I mean, the only ones he had upgraded were these 4, and none of them had blessings. So far, all the accounts we've seen haven't had blessings, and this one is no different. But as for the rest of the swords, he has them all unlocked in the game, so that's pretty impressive. As for guns, he only has 12, which means he's missing out on 2, and I can see that those are Dragonstorm and Bizarre Revolt. How you gonna have the new Dragon Heart but not have Dragonstorm? All right, so far I've seen enough. Let's go ahead and just skim through this. Let's check his physical fruits. I mean, it can't be anything insane, right? 2 East Dragons? Okay, hold on, bro. Like, we have a lot to unpack here. How did he get his hands on 2 East Dragons? What? Based off the rest of his account, I wasn't expecting anything insane from the physical inventory, but this is just about to raise the rating up hella. Just with one of these Dragon East fruits alone, he has more value in terms of fruits than Shinra's and the first accounts combined. And that's not even it too. He still has 3 gravity fruits, a bunch of legendary fruits like Blizzard, Pain, Rumble, and Portal. And other than that, it's really just mid. But like, how did he get his hands on 2 East Dragons? That's insane. But you know what? That alone just raised this account from a 6 up to a 7.5. We're gonna give this account. Pretty impressive to have not just 1, but 2 Dragon Easts for this account. Now, this next account is actually one of my crewmates, and he's claiming he spent over 20k Robux on this account. So let's see what he's got. First things first, I'm noticing this guy's 25.5 million bounty. So we've got the first bounty hunter of the video. I like to see that. But he's got that 30 million bounty boost. Sheesh. We've also got Cyborg V4, which is pretty uncommon in line with what we've seen for all the accounts. Every account has V4. Also max level, but we do got 13 million belly on this account. And as for fragments, 51,000? This guy's got a lot of fragments. Now, he said he spent like over 20,000 Robux. Let's see what he's got. Does he got any of the game pass? Fruit Notifier, already owned this game pass. Dark Blade, already owned. 2 times mastery, already owned. He literally has every game pass in the game. Okay, so my bad for doubting you, bro. My bad for doubting you. Let's see, what else does he got? Since he's claimed he spent a lot of Robux, let's go ahead and just check his permanent fruits right out the gate. Rocket, Spin, Blade. He owns all 3 of those. He doesn't have any of the other other commons, but he does have flame, ice, dark, light permanent, magma, Buddha, sound. Yo, this guy spent a lot of money. Both portal, rumble as well. And we got also a lot of the mythicals. He's got all 4 core mythicals. Leopard, Yeti, Kitsune, Dragon. Yeah, I see where a lot of this money's going. I can see it. I can see it. I like what I'm seeing so far. I like what I'm seeing. Let's check out that inventory. Okay. As for swords, he's got 38 swords, which means he's missing 1. And I believe it's Dragonheart. Yeah, he has every single sword in the game other than the brand new, which is fair. I mean, it just came out and it's still kind of hard to obtain. Every single one of his mythicals are upgraded. Are there blessings on any of them? Let's check Curse Dual Katana. No blessing on it, but it is 600 mastery. Okay, let's check out Dark Blade. Blessing on this one. No blessing on this, but this is also 600 mastery. Damn, is every single one of his mythical 600 mastery? Let me check. Hollow Sight 600 mastery. True Chip Katana almost 600. Okay. Oh, he had me going there. He had me going there. No blessing on this one either. And as for True Chip Katana, also no blessing on this. And I also went through the rest of the swords on his account and found he has no blessings on any of them. Hey, for the amount of money you've spent on this account, I would have liked to seen some blessings, but I can see most of your money went into permanent fruit, which is fine. Let's see the guns though. Guns, we got 13. I'm assuming he has all of them except Dragonstorm. Yep, literally all of them. Now, so far, this account is a step above the rest. I mean, between the bounty boost and all the game passes and permanent fruits, this is the most expensive and grinded one. Let's see if this is also true for the fruits though. For treasures, he has 36. Let's see what he's got. 3, 2, 1, and yo, this is actually kind of crazy. 1 Dragon West fruit. He's got max 8 storages, 5 kitsunes, 2 leopards, 3 spirits, 7 controls, 4 gases, and a bunch of others. Nah, this is crazy. This guy's got a stack. This guy's got a stack. This is what I wanted to see earlier, bro. Sheesh. And we also got a bunch of legendaries too. 7 rumbles, 5 portals. Yo, this guy's stacked. And he's just got a 2x mastery game pass just chilling here. For what? Buddy's flexing us at this point. Hey, I think I've seen enough on this account, boys. I think I've seen enough on this account. This guy, he definitely spent some money on this. This is getting a straight 8.5 out of 10. W account. Now, next up, I got another one of my crewmates, Eric. He begged for his account to be in the video. Now, first things first, I just want to say we got our first 30 million bounty player of the video, or almost. He's 29.9. He lost it. Now, my boy Eric has confirmed every race V4 and fully maxed out every race in the entire game. And he's currently got V4 Cyborg equipped right now. It's pretty good. He's also level 2,600, but he's broke on money. I mean, only 270,000 belly and only 99 only 99 fragments. That's kind of impressive how low that is. Now, just to zoom through this one, he has all 38 swords in the game. Actually, he's missing one. I think it's Dark Dagger, but he's got basically almost every sword in the game. And I think he's even got some blessings on some. For example, Dragon Trident. I remember getting a blessing on this one. Yep, he's got a Rot blessing on this. Shark Anchor, if we go to Shark Anchor, he's got Frost blessing on this one and at 600 mastery. Curse Dual Katana, he's also got Frost blessing on this as well as 600 mastery. And Dark Blade, well, he's got not Dark Blade, but he's got 502 mastery on Dark Blades. But if we look at his True Chip Katana, we got 600 mastery and Frost blessing on True Chip Katana. I don't know why Buddy's obsessed with Frost blessing, but he's got it on basically all of his mythicals. So far, this is the most blessings we've seen in the video. On top of the fact that he's 30 million bounty, it's looking pretty good for Eric. His account has improved a lot since the last top time. Wait, what the heck? Blox fruit just spawned? Okay, so we see he's got the fruit notifier. Okay, hold on. Actually, let me just get that real quick. All right, it's at Port Town, 140 meters away, 5 meters away, 4, 3, 2, and it's a rocket. Okay, that was mid. Yo, Eric clearly got no luck on this account. Anyways, moving on. I said earlier he didn't have Dark Dagger, but I was actually trolling. Apparently, he doesn't have Shark Saw, one of the easiest swords to get in the game. But other than that, he's got every sword in the game, including the new Dragonheart, fully mastered out at 500 master. Which actually brings me to another good point about this account. If we go over to Hydra Town, go up to Dragon Dojo, and talk to the Dragon Wizard, we will see he has the Draco race, and I can swap to it. And if we do swap to it, he has it fully race V4 and mastered out. I told y'all, he has every race V4 in the game. Now, if we go over to the guns tab, we can see he has literally every single good gun in the game. He is just missing out on a few bad ones. Not really gonna fault him for that. No reason to have those. But if we look at his Soul Guitar, we can see it has 600 mastery. This guy's a madman. Who gets Soul Guitar to 600 mastery? And if we look over at Dragonstorm, 500 mastery on this one. No blessing on either one of those though, but we can see he's a grinder. He grinded those out. You know what? Let me stop wasting time. Let's go ahead and check out the inventory on this thing. Sheesh. Yo, Dragon East and Dragon West on this. What? Yo, Eric, when did you get your hands on this, buddy? You've been holding out on me. And on top of that, he's got 8 max storage right here. Okay, he's also got Leopard Fruit, Spirit, 4 controls. He's missing out on some of the other high tier ones. Hey, overall, this is not that bad of an inventory, bro. I mean, these 2 dragons alone make it like insane, not gonna lie. But are the permanent fruits as good? Let's find out. First off, he's got permanent rocket, he's got blade. After that, we got ice, dark, light. He's got a few of these. Magma, Buddha. He's also got sound. He's got portal, rumble. He's got a bunch of these permanents. Dough, gas, spirit. Yeah, damn. Yo, Eric, bro. You may just have a better account than the previous dude who spent like 20k Robux. I ain't gonna lie, we might have to give it to Eric, bro. The last account got an 8.5, but you got basically everything that previous account has on top of having more blessings and more bounty. So you know what? I'm gonna give this account an 8.7 out of 10. Eric, your account improved drastically since I last saw it. And if you're watching this, Eric, and wondering why I didn't just give you the 9, it's because, well, you don't have enough permanents, you need more blessings, and your physical inventory could use some more. That said, though, this is still a W. All right, next account, let's see what we got. We got someone named Robin. We can see they got 0 bounty on Marine, but let's see what they got on Pirate. 4.8 million bounty. Okay, not bad, not bad. Now, I just want to preface to say he did DM me saying he's only spent about 1.5k Robux on the game, and he is a mobile player, so his bounty's not that high. So considering he's a mobile player, I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but I am also not expecting anything super insane. But that said, the fact that he's got almost 5 million bounty on mobile is kind of crazy. I mean, I just did a video where I spent 24 hours on mobile. Make sure to click that. And I struggled a lot just to even get 10 kills. So congrats on you for getting almost 5 million. You know what? Let's break this account down. He's only got 148,000 belly, so man's kind of a little broke boy. And on top of that, he's got 2,700 fragments. And he's at least got more than Eric. Imagine having less fragments than that bum. Moving forward, though, let's check how many game passes he has. Does he even have any of the game pass? 2 times drop chance. Okay, he does own that. Fast boats, he owns that too. What about 2 times the money? He already owns 2 times the money? Wait, how? All these alone is already more than like 1.5k Robux. What about Dark Blade? Does he have Dark Blade? He doesn't have Dark Blade. Okay, what about Fruit Notifier? He already has Fruit Notifier. Wait, hold on. Something's not adding up here. He said he only spent like 1.5k Robux on this account, but if you add all of these game passes up together, that's like almost 4,000. You know what? Let's just go ahead and make this quick. Let's see what permanent fruits he's rocking. Okay, he's got Rocket, Spin, Blade, the 3 trio of commons. He's got Ice. That's understandable. It looks like after that he's missing a lot, but he does have Buddha. He has Phoenix, Portal. Bro, there's no way. There's no way he only spent 1.5k Robux. Okay, after that he's missing all of these, but like this fruit right here, Dough, is already worth 2,400. The math ain't mathin', bro. I think we're getting more out of this account than we expected to. Now the permanent fruits is not that good. I mean, this is in line with like the first 3 accounts we saw earlier, but maybe he's got a lot of the swords. Ooh, he's got a Dragon Toe skin, a Dragon West. Maybe he has a crazy inventory. Okay, Cursed Dual Katana, he's got 600 mastery and upgraded. Let me go ahead and check that thing out. Does he have any blessings on it? No, he doesn't. Okay, let's see how many swords does he have. 35 swords. He's missing out on like 3 or 4 swords. He does have True Trick Katana though. Now it looks like he doesn't have a lot of these swords upgraded. If you look at right here, Sharkiga, this little star means he's upgraded this at the blacksmith. And for those of you that don't know, if you don't have it upgraded, you can't add an enchant. So this guy has no blessings on any of his weapons. That said though, he does have a decent amount of them, but he's just missing a few core. Now as for guns, he's only got 10. I hope he at least has Soul Guitar. I mean, he has Dragon Storm down here. It'd be a shame if he ain't has Soul Guitar. Let's find out though. Oh, he's got Skull Guitar. Okay, so he's got most of the essential guns. Well, literally all the essential guns. He's only missing out on the bad ones. Not bad, not bad. For a mobile player, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. I mean, you got all the core permanent fruits, you got all the core game passes, all the good swords, and you're almost 5 million bounty. Hey, I'm thoroughly impressed, but let's see what he's rocking for these physical fruits. We saw he had a dragon token, so I'm expecting to see at least a dragon. And oh, okay. How you got a dragon token but don't got no dragon? He's got 2 controls, Dough, and T-Rex. Okay, this is one of the more disappointing inventories we've seen throughout the video, but on the bright side, he's got 8 max storage. But I've seen everything I need to see. I'm gonna give this account a 6.5 out of 10. Definitely needs a little bit of work. Now, boys, this next upcoming account we're about to log on has a supposed $800 value according to the owner. Let's see what he's got. This here is my crewmate's original Ice Baby's account, and he claims he has $800 worth of stuff between the money he's spent and stuff he's been gifted. So first off, let's just do a quick little check. I mean, he better have every game pass in the game, claiming something like that. Okay, yep, he's got that, he's got that, he's got that, he's got that, he's got every game pass. Makes sense. If he's making a claim like that, he better. You know what? Let's just check these permanent fruits. I mean, with an $800 supposed value, he's got to have close to all of them, right? Okay, Rocket, Spin, Blade, Bomb. He's missing out Smoke, but that's just common. Okay, he's also missing Sand, Dark, Diamond, Light. He's missing a good amount of these uncommons. Yeah, he's missing a good amount of permanents. So I wonder where the money went then. He does have Kitsune and Dragon permanent. I remember gifting him this Kitsune. Yeah, he won that in a video of mine. Okay, so if he didn't spend his money all on permanent fruits, then it has to be probably either blessings or maybe fruit storages or something along those lines. We're about to find out. Let me just skim through this real quick. First of all, one thing he wanted me to check out was the mastery of all his mythical swords. So Crystal Katana, 600 mastery. Dark Blade, 600. Hollow Sight, 600. True Trick Katana, also 600. You know what? There's no way he has all the legendary 602. Let me check Bicento. 362. Yeah, okay. What about Buddy Sword? 401. Dark Dagger, 600 on Dark Dagger. Hold on. What else does he have on 600? Shark Anchor, 600. And it looks like after that, none of the other swords are 600. Hey, this man's a grinder, bro. He's got the most 600 mastery swords we've seen in the video so far. He's also got Skull Guitar 600 mastery for some reason. What? Okay, at least he only has Kabucha at 301. I would have said this guy doesn't touch grass if Kabucha was at 600. Now, we checked the mastery, but we haven't checked out any enchants yet. Does this Cursed Dual Katana have a blessing? Let's see. Ooh, Fire Blessing. The first one we've seen in the video. Fire Blessing. I mean, Eric's had like 5 Frost Blessings, but it's nice to see this one. Okay, what about Dark Blade? Does he have one on Dark Blade? Doesn't look like he has one on Dark Blade. What about Hollow Scythe? Not on Hollow Scythe. He's got to have one at least on True Dano, right? I mean, he's got it. Yep, Frost Blessing. Okay, okay. He's also got Lightning on Dark Dagger. What the heck? And he's got, wait, that's a curse on his Shark Anchor. Oh, nah. Hey, that's saucy, bro. Look at that aura. Sheesh. Hold on, I gotta see what that looks like when you hit something, bro. Oh, we got a Blox Roots Notifier. Hold on. Port Town once again, huh? And he gets a Smoke Fruit. Okay, that's the second damn combo we've gotten from Notifier. That's insane work. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is he is a 16 million bounty player, and as for money, he's only got 2.6 million, but he does have 38,000 fragments. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but he's a mobile user. He plays on iPad, so everything he's obtained on this account and grinded out, all on iPad. And other than that, on the account, all we have left to check is the fruits, and based on this inventory, this is actually kind of crazy. We got 1 East Dragon, 3 Kitsune fruits, max storage of 7, 4 leopards, 2 yetis, 4 spirits, 2 controls, 2 gases, 5 venoms, 5 shadows, 4 does, 5 mammoths, and 5 T-Rex. This is actually kind of crazy, bro. Hold on. So he's got every game pass in the game. He's got a stacked at inventory, a bunch of permanent fruits, tons of swords at 600 mastery, and he's 16 million bounty. This account is pretty fire. This account is pretty fire. I can see where that $800 went to. That said, I'm going to give this account an 8.5 out of 10, being ever so slightly below Eric's. And the only reason being is that Eric's was 30 million bounty. He had slightly more permanent mythical fruits. Like, I think Eric had Spirit permanent. He also had Yeti and Leopard permanent, which Ice Baby's missing out on. Now, this next account is Trix HG. And in the DMs, they told me what was special about their account is they have a lot of money, all V4s, mostly all swords, 600 mastery, and every material in the game is max. You know what? Let's not even look at this in a conventional way. Let me just go straight to items. Let's go to valuable. Then let's scroll down. Let's see this. Okay, he's got 44 green toad berries. What the heck? Look at all these damn berries. 95 metal scrap, 99 Yeti fur, 99 wood planks, 99 magma ore, 99 leather. Bro, he's literally got like most of these maxed out. 99 mythic droplets? What? Okay. Yo, this guy. Yo, there's something wrong with this guy, bro. There's something wrong with this guy for grinding all this out. He also said he's got almost every sword of 600 mastery. Let's just check that. Okay, Crystal Katana, obviously 600, 600, 600, 600 here. What the? Yo. It's still going. It's still. Bro, he even has Iron Mace to 600 mastery? Hold on. There's no way he has Cutlass 600 mastery. He has Twin Hooks 600 mastery. Cutlass? Okay, what about Dual Katana? He has literally every single sword in the game and all of them at 600 mastery. What is happening? Okay, hold on. Let's go to guns. There's no way guns are at 600. Okay, guns are at 300 and 547. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So the guy, he's not that lifeless. He's not that lifeless to grind the guns out. But why does he have every single sword in the game at 600 mastery? Why? And I don't know if y'all noticed this yet, ladies and gentlemen. 202 million belly. Buddy, you only get a title for having 100 million. Well, you didn't even need to go that high. Like, what? But them fragments is kind of broke, though. Only 1,800 fragments. Hey, get 100,000 fragments next time I log on this account. You know what? Let's just speed run through his fruits. I'm assuming he's probably going to be something calm. Okay, yeah, this is not bad. This is not bad. We got Kitsune, Leopard. He's also got 4 max storage. Yeti, Spirit, Control, Gas, Venom. Yeah, this is calm. This is calm. Nothing really super insane, but also not bad inventory either. I also just peeped he does have Dragon permanent because I see this Dragon E skin, and he also has the Eclipse Dragon skin. So this guy's got Dragon permanent. Maybe he's got a lot of permanents. Let's see. Oh. What the heck? Okay, so he's got a lot of these first permanents, but then he's also missing out a lot of these uncommons and rares. Okay, he has Buddha at least. He has Portal at least. He's got the essentials. He's missing out on a lot of them, but he does have a good amount of mythics though. Venom, Control, Gas, Spirit, Leopard, Yeti, Kitsune, Dragon. This guy's got like damn near all the permanent mythicals. Okay. What is this guy on a speed run to just 100% complete Blox Roots or something, bro? Like, what is this? I just checked too. He does own every single game pass in here. It's interesting he put all this time into getting 600 mastery on every sword in the game, but is only at 2.6 million bounty. Is this his alt account right here? Trix HG2? That's funny, bro. That's funny. He's here just watching me. You know, let me talk to him. We say W accounts. He's saying, by the way, I got Draco. Sheesh, he's got Draco too? Damn, I didn't even notice that. He does have V4. He's got Cyborg V4. Now, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that his fruit inventory is not as impressive as the other ones, you gotta admit, the fact that he has every single sword at 600 mastery, I gotta give this a straight 9 out of 10. I mean, that's just straight grind right there, bro. First 9 out of 10 of the video. You put in work Tricks, but also touch some grass, please. Now, coming down to account number 9, it's one you guys have seen me log on to plenty of times. times, but every time I do, he improves it drastically. And that is my boy Nutty's account. He has 24.4 million on Marine, but if we go on Pirate, it's straight 30 million. One of my strongest crewmates, Nutty. Let's check out his account. You know what, for this one, we're gonna speed run through it. Let's start off with his permanent fruits. Now, he's got basically every permanent fruit in the game almost. Like, I think he's only missing out on a few. Like, yeah, he's only missing out on Pain, Blizzard, and I think there's only one more he's missing out on, which is Gas. Other than that, he's got every permanent fruit in the game. That alone gotta make this close to a 10. Now, let's go to his swords. He's got 38 swords. He's missing one. It's Dragonheart. You know, it's new content. He's been slacking. Same with the guns. He's got 13. All he's missing is Dragonheart. Also slacking. You know what? We're not even gonna bother showing you guys anything else in the account. We're not gonna bother showing blessings or enchants or none of that. No, we're just gonna get straight to the fruit inventory, and y'all about to see why. One thing you should know about my friend Nutty is he spends all of his time trading in Blox fruits. You guys are about to see the fruits of it later. We go to treasure. You guys can see he has 5 Dragon East, 3 Dragon West, 31 Kitsune fruits, 101 leopards, 8 Yetis, 49 control fruits, and it keeps going on. 3 gases, we got 3 venoms, 5 shadows, 3 does, 5 mammoths, 4 T-Rexes. And if we click on the fruits to see how much storage he has, you guys can see 101 storages is what he has. And you know what the most impressive part about this account? He is completely free to play. He has never spent a single of his own dollar on this account. He either worked for it himself or got gifted to him, including all 101 of these max storages. I mean, look at this, boys. Like, this is just insane. How did he even get like close to 10 dragons, 31 kitsunes, 101 leopards, and 49 control fruits? I need someone to comment down the total value of all these fruits right here. Like, this has got to be like a trillion value or something like that, bro. Hey, all things considered, Nutty's account is getting a straight 10 out of 10. This is the first time you got it. I've always given you like a 9.9 or just shy of a 10. But hey, all these dragons finally hitting 100 leopards, the kitsunes, and the controls, straight 10. Now, this account here is really impressive, especially from a free-to-play player standpoint. But I'm about to show you one that's even more impressive. This is Pekko, otherwise known as the creator of the Admin Killer combo. And according to him, he has spent $0 on this account total. Now, if we're just looking at his account at face value, I mean, he's a 30 million bounty player. He's one of the pro best players in the game. We see his build down below. He has, like, you know, a typical PvP. And looking at his inventory, you guys can see he doesn't have much. It's pretty much the polar opposite of the previous account, but what he does have is only mythicals. He's got max storage of 4, and if we look at his game passes, he's got basically every game pass in the game. Now, none of what I've shown is why this account is special, however, but we'll get into that in a moment. For now, let's go ahead and check out this title specialist. Now, first of all, if you look at chat, you guys can see he has YouTuber title, which is a exclusive title you can only get by having an admin give this to you. And if we go to the title specialist, we can see he is 155 out of 180, and even has exclusive titles such as Pirate King, Most Wanted, and even exclusive El Combo God title, which you can only get by defeating Fur999. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop wasting time. Let's get into the thing you guys really want to see. This is a 100% free-to-play account. He has spent $0 on this account. And if we look at his permanent fruits, we can see he has every single permanent fruit in the game, not even missing one. And all of these he grinded as a free-to-play player, even permanent dragon. Honestly, kind of insane. I can't even imagine the amount of time it took him to get every permanent fruit in the game as a free-to-play player. Whether that be through trading or just playing getting gifted, hey, you can't deny the work he's put in this account. But as for the ranking, I'm going to give this a 9.9 out of 10, and only because this inventory is a bit lacking. But hey, don't let that take away from the fact that this man managed to get every permanent fruit in the game as a free-to-play. We're starting with Blade Shark Anchor God Human combo. We've already got a reworked Blade combo. I like that. I like that. All right, let's see what you cooked. Let's see what you cooked. I see bro is a mobile user. It looks like he's in a public server too. All right, he starts off with Blade Z. That's definitely not true. Shark Anchor C, Shark Anchor X. Huh. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little hyped when I saw Blade in the combo, but he literally used like Blade for 1% of that combo, and it was a cannibal move of Blade. Like, look at this, bro. One Blade move, and then the rest is just Shark Anchor God Human, bro. That's not a Blade combo. Hey, I'm sorry, man, but that is only gonna get a 5 out of 10 for our first combo. But for our next combo, we have the fastest one-shot diamond combo. First things first, I'm noticing this guy is a console player. We can see the icons down there, and he's running defense, gun, and block shoot stats, so it's hybrid build. All right, let's see how he starts this thing off. Let's see how he starts it. Looks like he's about to start it with Gravity Blade. Okay, and then he does Diamond V. Then he does both the Venom Bow moves. Then he does the Gravity Cane straight into Diamond X. Now, I don't know about fastest combo. I mean, that wasn't really that fast. I mean, from start to finish, look at that. That's whole like 4 or 5 seconds right there. But that is pretty good combo starting off for the second one of the video. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10, bro. Up next, we got what looks to be a Falcon combo. Okay, you got my attention. You got my attention. He's running Falcon, Death Step, Sadie, and Kabucha. And as for how he starts the combo, let's see. Okay, so he starts off with Kabucha, Kabucha X. Then he does Soaring Flight. Then he does Sadie. Oh, hold up. Oh my god. Third combo in the video. We're already getting this crazy? That's crazy. That's kind of insane. That's kind of insane. Definitely a really skilled combo of the video. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to give this a 10. I don't want to give this a 10. Even though this is a very good common fruit combo, maybe better ones later in the video. I don't just want to give up the 10s this early. We're gonna start off give this one a 9. This is gonna be a 9 because that was that was kind of crazy. Definitely the best Falcon combo I've ever seen. Moving up to our 4th clip.
But sanguine art is just like better overall.
Oh, he's talking in the clip. Let's see though. For the build, he's got God, Human, Chop Fruit. Actually, my bad. I meant Blade, Gravity Cane, and Skull Guitar. It seems like they're gonna be talking, so I'm gonna turn the sound down on this one. Let's see how he actually starts it. Okay, starts it off with Gravity Blade, straight to Blade Dance. Okay, now I think it's Cannibal probably after that. I don't know if that's true, but he is gonna sauce it up. All right. This is at least better than the other Blade combo. He at least used the Blade Fruit. Now, I'm assuming fruit stats. Let me check real quick. How much damage did that do? Oh yeah, that's definitely fruit stats. That's definitely fruit stats. I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 out of 10. I like that y'all cooking up with these new fruits, bro. I'm trying to see some Blade combos, Diamond, Yeti, Gas, Dragon combos. But anyways, let's get on to the next one. Ooh, this next one's sent in by my crewmate Ice Baby. This is a nice little buddy sword combo with the GOAT Falcon. All right, bro, Falcon is not the GOAT, but I'll hear you out. Fun fact about this, my boy is on an iPad right now, so he's a mobile user, and he's actually really good. So let's see what he's got. God Human C, Soaring Beast. Okay, then he does the Buddy Sword X, then he does Kabucha X. And then it looks like right there he wasn't quick enough to do the combo, but I see what he's trying to go for. Overall, though, honestly, really impressive that he's even doing this on mobile. And y'all see how well he's moving right now, bro. I'm telling you, he's a mobile GOAT. But since he couldn't land the actual combo in the clip, I'm gonna have to give this one a 7 out of 10. Ice Baby, next time, try to land the combo in the clip, please. Up next, we got another Chop combo, though. I like this. And this time we got Superhuman and Rengoku with Kabucha. Rengoku with Chop. That's interesting. Let me see what bro cooks up. I do notice he's only a 2.5 million bounty player, though, so I'm not expecting too much. All right, starts it off with Superhuman Z. Well, that's already Kennable. Literally, I would just be able to Ken the combo right then and there. That's also not true, bro. Oh my god. After bro uses Beast Owl Pounce, look at this, boys. Look at this, boys. He uses Beast Owl Pounce, hits him with the Conqueror gun, walks up to him, then does Blade Dance. There's a whole pause in between the moves. Yeah, this is not true. This is not true, bro. Like, oh my, bro, this clip's been going on for 20 seconds and thing's still not dead, bro. I respect you trying to do the Superhuman combo, bro, Blade, but respectfully, I don't think this one hits, bro. This is going to be a 4 out of 10. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, for our next combo, we got E-Claw Yeti Tushita. First Yeti combo of the video. We also don't really see Tushita or E-Claw used much these days. So you got me. You got my attention. Bro is also a 26 million bounty player, so I know he's cooking, bro. I know he's about to cook with this. Okay, he's pulling out E-Claw. Okay, he goes with E-Claw C, looks up. Ooh, this looks saucy. This looks saucy, bro. Ooh, that looks kind of crazy. That looks kind of crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. Total combo damage 15,782. Sheesh, that was kind of saucy, bro. Now I don't know how true it is because specifically this part right here, after he does the little throw, you guys could see he goes for heavenly lunges and the guy kind of falls into it. I'm thinking maybe that part may be Kennable, but you know what, bro? Just because of how saucy this combo was, this is getting an 8.5 out of 10. This one was nice. We starting off pretty good with these first 7 clips, ladies and gentlemen. We starting off nice. But for clip number 8, we got Death Step Phoenix combo. I also see bro's a mobile, so that means it's either go really good or really bad. It's really just a toss-up when it comes to these mobiles. Let's see. Okay, starts it off with Flame Exodus. All right, I guess. Then he does Vermilion Drill. Okay, not bad, not bad. He actually kind of cooking for a mobile. Okay. Oh, this is not bad. Do my eyes deceive me? Okay. That last part, I don't know if that's true, but so far, majority of the combo looks not bad. Not bad, bro. Not bad. I feel like I'm giving out a lot of high scores lately, bro. But this one deserves at least an 8. At least an 8. I mean, come on. He's on mobile. He's handicapped and still pulled off a saucy combo. 8 out of 10. We haven't gotten anyone to get that 10 out of 10 yet, though. I feel like I've done a lot of these ready subscribers combos videos. It's going to take something insane to get me to give 10. But so far, out of these first 8 combos, in our top 3 place, we have Jordan with the Falcon combo, Better Off Yeet with the Yeti combo, and in 3rd place, we got Yeeterson with the Phoenix combo. Yo, winner, here's a combo with the brand new Dragonheart sword. Hope you like it. Okay, perfect. I haven't seen any combos with Dragonheart yet. You got my attention. Portal Dragonheart. Okay, he does Dragon X, then he does Dragonheart X, Dragonheart Z. Okay, hold on. I gotta rewatch that, bro. I didn't even know what the heck's happening. How does he start this? Heaven and Earth. Okay, then he does Dragonheart X, Dragonheart Z, then he does God Human Z, and then God Human C. 45,326 damage. Not bad, not bad. And he didn't even use Portal at all in the combo whatsoever. My only thing is, I don't even know if this is like a true combo whatsoever, because after you get hit with the X, I'm pretty sure the Z is cannibal, so I don't know if you would have landed that God Human Z. Overall, though, I'm gonna give this probably like a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't the craziest thing I've seen, but it was pretty decent. And just a hint for y'all, in case I ever do this video again, landing the combo against someone in real combat is gonna get you way higher points than just landing on the dummy or someone standing still. Just helping y'all out. Ooh, we got ourselves another Yeti combo, except this guy's a mobile. What the heck? He hit that guy with the spiky trident and it didn't pull him, huh? The guy just disappeared? I don't even understand what's happening in this guy. Bro, what? What even is this? Is this what you submitted for your combo, dog? How long is this clip? 36 seconds. This guy's just running around. What am I watching, bro? This is what you submitted in the video, dog. This isn't even a combo. This is just him spamming fruit abilities, bro. Yeah, I'm not watching this, bro. This is getting a straight 0 out of 10, bro. What is this? All right, we got another Yeti combo, except this guy has Sanguine Yama. It starts off with Sanguine C, Yama X. Ooh, hold on. Okay. This is kind of crazy. And this was done in real combat? Hold on, bro. I gotta give that a double take. That's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy, bro. So crazy, I'm gonna give it a triple take, bro. Sanguine C, straight into Yama X, straight into what? Frostbite Boulder, Tundra Rush, slam him down, Glacial Execution, 16,347 damage. That's insane. Now, is this 10 worthy? I don't think so. I don't think this is 10 out of 10 worthy, but it definitely is better than that Falcon combo I saw earlier. This is getting a 9.5 out of 10, and it was used in real combat. 9.5. Next combo we got sent in by a guy named Foe, and the first thing he said is messed up a bit. Not true at all. All right, well then you already just lost my hope, but let's see what you got. Is bro running water kung fu rubber, dual katana, and kabucha? All right, bro. You got my attention. Let's see. Okay, he uses dual katana, something else, straight into kabucha. I can't even see the entire combo, bro. Yeah, this is definitely not true. This is definitely not true, bro. What am I watching, bro? I mean, he's low-key kind of cooking at the same time, but like, it's also just not true at the same time. What the heck? Is bro just looping it up constantly? I mean, that was kind of cool to look at, but also, like you said, not true at all. 7 out of 10. Oh, we got a light combo. Light, Dragon, Trident, Skull Guitar, and bro's on tablet. All right. Fruit stats, defense. Cook for me, my boy. Okay, water dragon shower. Okay. Oh my god. Damn. It just blew my eardrums out, dog. All right, hold on. Let me rewatch it. Now that I got the volume turned down, my ears are safe. Let's watch it again. Water dragon shower. All right. Wrath of God. Got human X. Got human Z. Got human C. That's actually a pretty good combo. He started off with the Dragon Trident X, which means this combo actually would be landable in PvP. And if you paired it together with Cyborg V3, it might even be inescapable. Very impressive for a mobile Asher. Very impressive. This is going to get an 8 out of 10, bro. Moving on up next, though, we got ourselves a Portal Dragonheart Kabucha build. Okay. Let's say we start this. Portal Z. Okay. Dragonheart X. Kabucha X. Ooh, okay. This one's definitely better than the other Dragonheart combo one because it actually starts it off with a combo starter. So we know this one's true, at least for the most part. Overall, though, still just your average Portal combo. I gave the other one like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Ooh, we got our first Dragon combo of the video. This guy's build is God Human Dragon Spiky Trident Kokotar. So I can already predict how he's gonna start this combo. He's gonna start it off with Scorching Downfall. So yeah, let's just watch the video to confirm what I'm already saying. Yep, Scorching Downfall. He's gonna go for Spiky Trident X, God Human X, Dragon X, God Human Z, God Human C, Dragon Z. Yep. Full combo right there. Even though Dragon got completely reworked, combo still remains exactly the same. But this is our first Dragon combo of the video, and he's still cooked up. 8 out of 10. Gee, we haven't gotten a single 10 out of 10 of the video yet. Am I grading this too harshly? Nah. I'm not grading too harshly. They just haven't came with anything that crazy yet. Maybe this next one will, though. We got a mobile user, bro, saying use star code Clouds. He's got E-Claw, Diamond, Acid Rifle, Yama. All right, you got my attention. And he's got my avatar. Hold on, bro. I just saw that. That's kind of crazy. Okay, he doesn't. Wait. Bro's actually using E-Claw gun on mobile. Hold on, bro. This is kind of crazy, bro. Full one shot on the training dummy, mobile. First of all, I've never even seen a mobile use E-Claw properly. Like that was kind of crazy. The fact that he even did this motion right here and didn't mess it up, props to you, bro. But what I will say is enough to get current first place. We're giving this 9.6 out of 10. You gotta respect the mobile, man. You gotta respect how he's moving like this on mobile. So for our new top 3 placements, we have Luffy 9-6 in first place with the Diamond mobile combo. In second place, we have Belly Gold with the Yeti combo. And in third place, we have Jordan with the Falcon combo. Very interesting, bro. I didn't think the setup would be like this, but let's move on. We still got more combos to react to. Next up, all right, we got ourselves another Blade combo. Let's see what he cooks up. Blade E-Claw. We got a lot of E-Claws in this video. Ooh, hold Wee. Yo, do my eyes deceive me, bro? My only thing is I don't know if it's true, bro. I don't know if it's true. Right after he uses the E-Claw C straight into the up Z, you can see he kind of slows down a bit here and uses chop Z. That part I think is kennable and escapable. Not to mention it's also escapable after the CDKZ. So it's not a fully true combo. We're kind of breaking this down a bit. It is worthy of an 8.5 out of 10 though. This was sauce. One-shot Yeti combo. Okay. We got a Yeti combo. He's running God Human Yeti Spiky Trident. So he's gonna go God Human C. Tundra Rush. Okay. Then he does Spiky Trident X, which is kennable. God Human X, God Human Z, straight into Glacial Execution. I like that he did this combo in a Yeti base. Although there is multiple moments where this is kennable, but I will say overall pretty saucy combo. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I feel like we're getting a lot of 8s and above lately. I feel like the last like 5 combos was like 8 or above. So y'all are cooking. Y'all are really cooking. We got a spider combo. Not only that, bro's running Superhuman Spider and Shark Anchor. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this quality is. I have no idea what this quality is right here, bro. This quality's kind of scuffed, but this damage is nice. The combo's nice. The combo itself is nice. Let me watch that again. Starts it off with Silk Prison, I believe, which is pretty good. Then he does Thermal Laceration, straight to Armor Breaker with Shark Anchor. Then he does Superhuman Z, which is kennable, and you can also ken the Superhuman C. Combo's not true whatsoever, but it is nice. But I will say, this quality's kind of scuffed, bro. Upgrade your specs whenever you get a chance to, man. Upgrade your specs. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. He said, sorry for quality, my PC's potato. Hey, man, now I feel toxic. Now I feel bad. My fault, bro. My fault. We got our rocket combo. No shot. We got a rocket combo in the video, bro. Death Step, Rocket, Dark Dagger, Kabucha. All right, you got my attention. Let's see if you cook. Starts it off with Kabucha X, not bad. Then he does Airstrike straight into Saving Slash. Then he does Rocket C, then Death Step moves. Not bad. Okay. This is not bad. Well, you didn't even one-shot, and the combo was kind of escapable after the Kabucha X. We'll give this a 5 out of 10. I've definitely seen better rocket combos. All right, next up. This clip is a whole minute long, so that's either very good or very bad. Let's see what he's got, though. He's got Dark. Okay, I don't know why he has the bottom cropped off. That's Dragon Heart. Okay. Straight to this. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, that part probably wasn't true, but we'll keep it going. Oh, this guy's doing an infinite combo. Is this a whole loop? Oh, he's got Ghoul V3 with this combo, so that's how he just keeps looping it. All right, so this is a whole just infinite combo, I think. Now I'm not gonna lie, Cyborg V3 negates this entire thing, bro. Like Cyborg V3, yeah, you ain't doing it. You ain't doing it. Like, look, this part we're holding right here, Cyborg V3 negates all that. Negates all that. Then no more combo. Then no more combo. But the fact that he's looped this like 5 times, bro, this is a whole minute long. How is this guy not even dead, bro? Did he just like take all of his stats out of everything? This is insane. I don't even know how you sit in the lab coming up with this right now, bro. How do you just sit there coming up with this? I'm not about to sit through this whole minute watching this. You just keep looping it over. He just keeps looping it over. But I'm not gonna lie, the fact that he sent in a whole 1 minute 16-second clip of a whole infinite combo looped like 10 times, this has got to get the 10, bro. This has got to get the 10 out of 10, bro. I gotta respect it, dog. This is crazy. Supercell, you're the first 10 out of 10 of the video, so you're guaranteed winner. And if y'all are confused why I gave that a 10 out of 10, this is actually the first infinite looped combo we've ever gotten out of all the times I've rated you guys' combos. So I'm honestly really shocked to see it. The fact that he even came up with that, I gotta respect it. Next up though, we have a Sanguine Art Blizzard combo, and he has Serpent Bow and Spiky Trident. He starts out with Sanguine C, then he does Howling Wind. Ooh. Yo, you don't see Blizzard combos every day, bro. You don't see Blizzard combos every day. That was saucy. That was very good. That was very good. I like that. Now, I have no idea if this combo is kennable or escapable. I don't know Blizzard. I've never really used it. But I don't think this is top 3 worthy. It's not better than the Yeti combo we saw earlier. I don't think it's better than the Infinite Dark combo. And I don't think it beats 3rd place. We're going to give this a 9 out of 10. Finally, we got a gas combo. Why is this the first gas combo we've seen in the video? Only issue is bro's only level 2,311, and he's running Superhuman with Acid Rifle. All right, let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. What am I hearing in the background, bro? Starts off with Lunar Blitz. That's already kennable right there. You could have already kenned it, got away. He doesn't even have the final move on Superhuman. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Bro didn't even get him under half fully, bro. That wasn't even a true combo. Bro didn't even kill the dummy. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10, bro. 2 out of 10. We were doing so good cooking too, man. We were doing so good. So many back-to-back-to-back good clips. But moving on, we have one sent in by this guy named Elo, and he said true one-shot combo. Okay. It's a Quake combo with Bicento. Okay. Quake V, Bicento X, Serpent Bow XZ. Ooh, that's kind of fire. That's actually kind of saucy, bro. I like that. Although he said true one-shot combo, and look at that. You see that right there, bro? That's 1 speck of health on the training dummy. It ain't a true one-shot combo, my boy. It ain't. Still, though, for a very saucy combo with Quake, something you don't see very often, 8.5 out of 10. All right, we got ourselves another gas combo. This time he's using gas, God Human, and CDK. All right. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. That other guy did not cook. Let's see what we got with this one, though. So let's have a God Human C. Okay, not bad, not bad. He's gonna go for suffocating fumes, probably a bursting vapor. Okay, CDKZ, CDKX, turn around, God Human Z. Not bad, not bad. 15,640 damage. And if you paired this up with Cyber V3, that'd be really deadly. You know, let me try this one out myself. God Human C. Okay, suffocating fumes. Boom. Do this. Smart Demon, CDKZ, CDKX, turn around, God Human Z. Got Human X. Ooh, that one shot's the train dummy. And now that's not even with Cyborg V3. That's a deadly combo. That's a deadly combo right there. Hey, I'm a fan of that one. I'm a fan of that one. That one's getting a 9 out of 10. And now for the final combo of the video, ladies and gentlemen, we got a combo sent in by a guy named Pink Station. Made a spin combo. Stats are 2600 melee, defense, 1300 fruit, 1300 gun. So we got a hybrid stat build. All right, let's see what he does. Cyborg V3. Ooh, what the heck? What the heck? Hold on. What is even happening, bro? I didn't even see how he started that properly, but this is kind of insane. 22,000 damage combo with spin. He starts it off with Venomous Spit. Okay, that's a little bit weird to start off with. That means this isn't as usable in public server, but it still is a very saucy combo, bro. 8 out of 10. Well, that is all the combos I have to react to. I try to react to as many as possible, but as you guys can see, there's literally hundreds in this chat. So if I didn't get to yours, my bad. But anyways, it's time to get to our top 3 ranking. In first place, we have Supercell with the Dark Infinite combo. In second place, we have Luffy 94 with the Diamond combo. And in third place, we have Belly Goal with the Yeti Yama combo. Now for our first contestant, we have Belly Goal. He said if he wins Slide and Perm Dragon, and his Roblox name is Moise Karima. All right, bet. Perm Dragon coming your way. And it's about to be gifted super easily because now Blox has a global feature where we can gift stuff even without having to be in the server. So here you go, Moise Karimi. Hopefully you enjoy your permanent dragon. There you go. Combo Luffy 94 for second place said he wants permanent Yeti. And his Roblox username is Zoro44264. Understood. Hopefully you enjoy this. Bro's got my avatar right there. Hey, enjoy the permanent Yeti. You definitely deserve it. There you go. And as for the final winner, he never gave his Roblox username in the chat, so I'm gonna have to wait for him to reply. But if you see this, congratulations on the W. And also for those of you that didn't get in, don't worry, we'll definitely be doing more of these, so y'all have more chances.